Three. I remember the episode of, I think it was like Saved by the Bell or something stupid like that.
Nice.
They had the stupid, not the morning announcement type thing. They ran their own TV show or whatever the fuck it was, and like the whole production value was like, oh, we need a cameraman and a director and the news anchors and shit like that. And like the biggest thing I remember was AC Slater or whoever the fuck the character was.
Slater, man, the wrestler tan guy there.
Alfred Clifford.
Wait, is that his like real name?
That's what AC.
Really?
AC Slater was Alfred Clifford.
Oh, that's terrible.
Fun fact before we get into the show, I remember the first or up to second season was filmed or not filmed, but based in not Illinois. It was like what the fuck was it?
Where that?
It was like in the Midwest or something like that. They said it was a random high school or middle school in
like Milwaukee or something,
like Chicago or Indianapolis or something stupid like that. And then like the series got, not canceled or whatever the fuck it was, and then all of a sudden it's in California. So it was weird because I remember the first season or the second season, one of the teachers was a random black guy. He's like, "Oh, we're the best high school or middle school in all of whatever city they were based out of,
Sacramento or some shit in California."
No,
in the beginning when they're in the Midwest.
He's like something out of like Indiana, whatever the.
We're the Hoosiers.
And then the next season started, and they're like, all of a sudden they're Bayside High, and they're in California,
Cali, in the valley,
like
in the valley, like.
It's a weird thing, the behind the scenes thing that nobody really pays attention to.
All right, so we are the Goon Squad.
Sorry, fuck it, we're live. We are the Goon Squad podcast, episode
41, I think.
41, 42, 43.
43.
Salute, cilantro prost.
Eat lots of broccoli.
Welcome to the show. We're a little bit late, but cheers. It's Tuesday, December 12th.
All day.
2017. Myself, Steve, and to my left, I believe, right, would be Ron.
Sure, that makes sense. I'm Ron. Hello.
I was just waiting for that awkward pause to change. We started a little bit late, but we don't really get paid for this, so we don't get docked for showing up late. But anybody that is watching,
hello.
Hi. Vale is not here tonight because of work-related shit and weather-related things, so on and so forth, and that's cool. We always say the show must
go on.
Must go on every time.
Show must go on.
So I've been up since I'd say 4 a.m. plowing and had little to no sleep the night before. So if I trail off a little bit or get a little sidetracked, sorry that I can't apologize. But
in other words, he finally worked hard today.
No, dude. To be honest, I would say dream of this fucking part of the year every fucking day.
Plowing's fun, man, I think.
I fucking wake up, like, look out the window. There's a snowflake on the ground. Oh, all right.
Gotta plow.
I gotta go to work. It's good money. I mean, if the money was, mediocre or half-assed, right, I'd still be excited about it because I really, really enjoy what the fuck I do.
Dude, plowing is fun.
You're by yourself in your own little, own world.
At like 4 a.m, three other cars on the road.
Exactly. Fuck. The light's fucking red.
I treat my little yellow light like 6 blue flashers, man. Like, I back out onto a main road. There's a car coming. That motherfucker better slow down because I'm backing right up and finishing my plow job.
Public service announcement. If you guys are driving down the road not even during rush hour, but if you're driving down Long Pond or Latta or whatever, a 4-lane, 2-way that way, 2-way the other way, and you see somebody backing out of a driveway,
handle that.
Especially a fucking plow truck backing out of a driveway, be considerate and, move to the inner lane or the outer lane or whatever you want to.
It's his computer. Colt, come say hi. Just stand in front and wave. It's your computer. We got to do that.
Ron's son Colton needs to make his first appearance. What up, motherfucker?
Nice, dude. Really nice. That's my 9-year-old son, Colton. That's my friend, Steve.
We're using Ron's son that we just met, Colton's computer, because...
Oh, for like 6 weeks now, man. We've been using it.
Out of all the computers that we've tried to use, the audio input from the mixer into the headphone jack of the laptops, the oldest, outdated, fucking random computer.
Right.
There's the only one that actually
works. Right. It's the second one we bought for him when he broke his first one. Right. Off a Let Go for like $110.
Exactly.
So it's the only one that works.
So we had to, by contract, had to allow him on the show for that 3 seconds of glory.
What up, Dave?
So, anyways, for people that are driving, commuting, or whatever during whatever hours, I understand rush hour is, it's fun for yourself type attitude, but if you're driving down Long Pond or La or any kind of main road or whatever the fuck it is that you have an option to get into like a center lane to get the fuck out of the way of a plow truck, be considerate and please move over.
Right, he's got somewhere to be.
Yeah,
and 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, I back out in front of people, but I'm courteous. I'm not going to just like back out into the both lanes of northbound traffic type attitude. I'll look back and say, fucking.
I mean, as long as I'm not going to cause an accident, I won't. But other than that, pretty much I will. I got a job to do, man. I got to get these people got to get to work. I got to get their driveway done. The next people have to get to work. I got to get their driveway on. Sorry, I'm holding you up for 7 seconds. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm not there to cause an accident or cause you an.
There's a reason you have a flasher, though. I mean,
I got the bubble on top that's flashing like, hey, notice me. But I mean, I do have to obey the traffic laws and shit like that the right of way.
For the most part,
I can't just blatantly back out into oncoming traffic and say, go fuck yourself.
Right.
You have to slow down and wait for me to, lift up my plow and then pull back up into the driveway and whatever.
Yeah. Well, again, if you're going to do anything like that, you got to be quick about it too. You don't want to spend 30 seconds lining up in the street to get the right shot on the driveway. You know what I mean? You're backing up, throwing it right back into drive and pushing.
I got a driveway on Long Pond directly across the street from the hospital. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ, Ridge something. No, it's Ridgeview.
Right? No, not even close to Ridgeview.
Yes, it is. It's Ridge something.
No, Park Ridge.
Thank you.
Park
Ridge.
All right, so I have a property on the east side of Long Pond Road, and back and forth 2 lanes on each side, and no matter what time of the day it is, unless it's like midnight or whatever, I have to backblade from the driveway to the sidewalk or to the the gutter of the road or driveway itself.
Yep.
There's people that just don't give a shit. Like, I got my light flashing, switch over into the left lane and go around me.
There's another lane you could just get over.
And there's nobody next to them or behind them or whatever it is. So I have to sit there. I think I sat at most 45 seconds. That shit doesn't really mean anything to you. Like, not switching lane, like, they'll drive past and whatever. That 45 seconds to me really isn't shit, but every driveway that I do on a main street or whatever, that shit adds up. That's 45 seconds. That's a minute. Round it up. That's a minute on that property. Then I got another one down the street.
Oh, yeah.
That's another minute. That's another minute. And if I have like 30 driveways or 10 driveways.
That's somebody that's going to be 15 minutes late to work at the end of your route, though. You know what I mean? Like, they're expecting you to get their driveway done. It's not about you getting done in time. It's what you're doing. It's the service you're providing.
Right.
Is to get these people's driveways cleared for them,
Right. And people bitch like, why isn't my driveway plowed and so on and so forth. Like,
honestly, it should be. Like, they need to set up the route properly and so that people aren't waiting till 9 o'clock to get their driveway plowed out. I'm just saying, man.
Well, today was
don't take on too many customers if you can't get them all done by the time they need to all get to work.
I understand. Today was the first actual real snowfall of the season.
Absolutely.
So we pull the trigger, as the terminology is 3 inches. We pull the trigger. That means we go out and start plowing.
That's all it takes to pull the trigger. 3 inches.
3 inches. Well, it's in the contracts.
It's all. Do it twice. She wanted 6 inches, so I did it twice.
So weird. In our contracts is anything above 3 inches, we go out and plow. And out of courtesy, we go out at like 2 a.m. and try to get our route done. I have 48 properties that I have to clear out, and I try to get that done before 6 or 7 in the morning. So people waking up for work, they got to be to work at 8, and they leave at 7. I'd like to be done by 6:30 or whatever the fuck it is. And then
if the snow keeps falling, you got to double back around and redo the route while their cars are gone. And
exactly. And I'd have to go back and start the route over, but I'd have to get it done before 5 o'clock.
Absolutely,
for the most part. But there's some people that they'll call at like 11:30, like, why aren't you here? Why isn't my driveway plowed? I'm like, I plowed your driveway at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not going to come back until whatever.
Right.
There's certain stipulations in our whatever contract that we have per person, but the general census is we're there before 7 a.m. and we're there before 4 p.m.
when they get home. Yep.
For the 9 to 5 basically. Most of our customers are 9 to 5.
Other jobs, like plow guys, sometimes have other jobs they do too.
Well, we have our residential contracts, and then on the our routes done, we have
parking lots or something?
commercial routes like Rite Aids and Pizza Hut.
Yeah, I never gonna do any of those. I only did driveways. So much fun though.
The residential is upfront money. Your contract, you're there. You have to do it, whatever, so on and so forth. With commercial properties, you get paid per push, which is that's where the money is.
All of them every time.
With commercial,
they don't do contracts for commercial, or usually they don't. It's per plow.
We the business that I work for is we subcontract basically.
Yep, that's what I did too. The guy the guy I roofed for bought a couple plow trucks and said, in the off season he collect unemployment, and I think he paid us like $17. Oh, should I have just said that? He paid us like $7. I know, I was kidding. Paid us like $17 an hour to go out and plow, and it was like, I don't know, Jesus Christ, probably like 7 years ago or something. And we had a lot of snow that year, and I learned to plow real quick, man. And dude, it was fun. I don't know, it was just fun.
I think I look forward to it every year, just sitting in that fucking truck, and I got a little handheld controller in my left hand. And I steer with my right hand, and every once in a while I have to shift, reverse. Whatever.
Oh, you have it in your left hand? I steer with my left hand and have the controller in my right.
I have a V plow, so instead of the joystick, like
I didn't have a joystick. It was still like the corded thing, right? I mean,
I have a corded joystick with 4 buttons. There's left, right,
up and down, left and right. But you have a V, so you got to have something.
I have 4 buttons, and then up and down. So Up top left is left blade out, and bottom left is left blade in.
All right, that's too far. So you have more than I had. Well, I had up, down, left, and right. That's all I had on mine. But
with a straight blade you have with a straight blade you have left, right, up, and down.
Right.
With a V plow you have.
Oh yeah, you can be it. You can go out.
You can manipulate the left blade in and out, and the right blade in and out, and then.
Your general up and down. Aren't they going a bigger truck for that, or
what do you mean?
Like at least a 2500 or something for that? Because those are bigger, like 8. Well, mine's
an 8.5.
Right,
Boss V plow.
All right, we need to change the topic here and get more interesting.
I'm just saying, anybody needs their driveway plowed, call me. Fuck you.
Although, actually, Dave said something about. Maybe if you're the only other truck on the road and I need time to get my car over, don't be a hella D-bag trying to be big balls around me. Well, Dave, when you have a flashing light on top of your car, then we'll talk.
Yeah, just be courteous. Like, hey, if you're on not even a divided highway, but a 4-lane, two one-way, two the other, and I'm on the curbside, move to the non-curbside lane and drive around me.
No, I don't give a shit. I have a flashing light. I win. That's it. That's all there is to it. Get out of my way. I'm a hella D-bag.
That used to be my mentality, but then I got to the point where I was like, you know what?
I'm not really like that.
I'm not more important than these motherfuckers driving, but at the same time, I'd be a little courteous to the.
I'm not going to sit at the end of the driveway to try and finish like, let's say I have one more swipe left, dude, and I go to back out that last time and then push it over, and I can't get out far enough because cars aren't getting over, I'm eventually just going to fucking pull out, man. Like, I got to finish this and get out of here. You guys are all being the D-bags. You know what I mean? Like, let me out so I can finish this.
Especially on a really busy road. Like, I've gotten to the point, not recently, but in the last couple of years, I've gotten to the point, like, it's been a couple minutes.
We need that monitor.
What monitor? Oh.
So, let's...
I've gotten to the point that I just, like, fuck all you motherfuckers. I'll just pull right out in front of people, oncoming traffic, and fuck you. What are you going to do? Bye.
So, we're hoping to... oh, my God, I have a really good story from when I was plowing. It was...
I love talking about it.
Such an asshole move, dude.
Today was the first day of the season for plowing, so
I'll make it really quick. Long story short, all right.
Go on.
So I'm in the plow truck that my boss had. Anyway, I had this guy with me.
No. We need a backstory. What kind of truck was it?
Oh, it's an old Chevy with a plow. Anyway, it's just that whatever. I'm subbing whatever. First time out. My buddy's out with me that day. We just got done, and actually I stopped and went over to a friend's house that I did at the end of my route every time. She was a single mom type of thing.
Did your boss know about that?
No, absolutely not. He wouldn't have cared. But anyway, I put the gas in the thing. Anyway, so got done doing that. It was over off of Dewey by or Lake by Ridgeway, like right.
Lake and Ridgeway.
Casey Jones, Casey Jones, freaking.
I know the bar.
Okay, so if you go right after Casey Jones, there's a side street, and then there's a couple Flower City and shit that cut up from that back up to Lake, right? So she was up on one of those. Anyway, I got done doing her. I went back down onto Lake to go to Ridgeway.
Doing her driveway.
Her driveway, which was the worst out of all the driveways I did on my actual route. Hers was the worst. It was in the city. There was cars parked out in the road. She had a steep, skinny-ass driveway. Cars parked in it. Dude, it was horrible. I get out of there. I'm heading down Dewey. I don't know if I was looking at my phone or something, and I didn't see, like, the red light, and there was a car in front of me.
Boom.
Oh, I totally rear-ended the shit out of this car. Bam, right? I felt bad. There was like a 12-year-old little girl in the back seat. The two, whatever. They're like, we're not calling the cops, right? We're not calling the cops, right? I'm like, are you sure? Because I hit you. Let's not get the cops involved.
Obviously, they didn't have a license.
I'm like, do you want me to give you my insurance, whatever? And I'm like, find the insurance, dude, because it was under my boss or whatever. I'm like, find the insurance. My buddy writes down the insurance numbers and everything. I give it to the lady. We leave because like nobody was hurt, whatever. And we're right there on like we had to hurry up and get out of the way, before they didn't want cops show up. So
obviously they didn't have a license or they didn't have insurance or whatever. Yeah, they didn't.
We drive off, man. I'm on my way home and I'm telling my buddy, I'm like, dude, he's gonna kill me. I can't believe I did that. God.
But you rear-ended them with your plow.
Yeah, he goes.
So there's no damage to your plow, just damage to the.
But it's on his insurance and everything, though. You know what I mean?
Right, but they didn't even file a claim. I got you.
Oh no, they had no chance to because, my buddy says, "Don't worry about it, dude. I think I might have mistakenly wrote a couple of the numbers wrong on the policy number, dude." So for weeks after that, I was worried about like getting pulled over or something for
your vehicle fit a description.
Right. What if they wrote down the license plate or something? They weren't even smart enough to do that. Yeah, they wanted to get out of there faster than I did, dude.
A lot of people don't notice the front of the truck on a plow truck doesn't have a license plate. Like, where the fuck are you going to put it? It might be mounted on the front bumper, but that's behind the it's behind the plow and behind the.
Pretty much the only time I've ever done some shady shit like that. Like, not manned up to what I did,
a little bit of a guilty conscience.
Right, but I don't feel so bad because obviously something was wrong with them too. They literally said, "Let's not get the cops involved.
Yeah,
let's hurry up and get out of here."
That means they A, didn't have insurance, B, didn't have a license, or C,
car was stolen. Like,
C had a warrant.
Who knows?
Yeah. So, I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna write down my fucking insurance information for the vehicle that you were driving.
And I totally was going to.
They can't even make a claim about it though. They're gonna call their insurance company and be like, "Oh, my vehicle got rear-ended by this vehicle."
Well,
and who was driving? Well,
after the fact, I was surprised they didn't just say, "Hey, just give me $300 or something."
That's what I would have said right up front. I'm like, yo, just let's not get the police involved. Give me $300 cash, and I won't call the cops.
My last accident I was in, I just pretty much let the lady out of it. She hit my car. I have a big ass fucking mark and shit on the side of my car. She was in her van. Whatever. We didn't call the cops. That was the problem. If we would have gotten a police report to where she was obviously at fault, it wouldn't have been a big deal. I wouldn't have had to pay the deductible. We would have went right through her insurance, everything. But since we didn't do that, like I had to call her insurance. They were like, well, you need to put in a claim. Then we're going to look into like what happened to your car and if it was her fault, like all that shit.
But in New York State, a lot of people don't understand that, and I don't know if it's still true or not, but New York State is a no-fault state.
Yeah.
It's a no-fault state, which means if you rear-end somebody because they brake-checked you or whatever the scenario is, it's not...
it's still your fault.
But
it would still be your fault. I know they call it a no-fault, but it would still be your fault. You're following too closely. That's what they'll say.
Right. But it can't be chalked up saying, just because you rear-ended that person, you're at fault for rear-ending that, that person.
No.
The person that slammed on the brakes could be at fault for it.
Nope.
That's what no fault means. It's nobody's fault. Both parties are responsible. But that's why you go to court for it, or you file insurance claims, or go through the.
I guess if you get Judge Judy and she's like, yeah, I know you were just brake checking him and that's why it happened. Other than that, it's your fault for following too closely, period. You did not have enough room between seeing them hit their brake lights and you being able to hit yours without hitting them. That's what they'll say.
Right.
That person in front will say, hey, a squirrel ran out in front of me and I tried to stop fast.
And then it becomes it's your word.
Trust me,
it's your word against your word against theirs, which moving on with topics, I've been watching a lot of YouTube, like stupid YouTube shit, like dash cam videos.
I love dash cam videos. Most of them come from Russia, though. That's all the cool ones where the trucks flip over. And
the coolest shit I've ever seen has always been from Russia.
Yep.
These fucking people are insane. Like the accidents alone, yeah, I get it.
Or the road rages.
Public freakouts and road rage and shit like that. But these Russian motherfuckers, I have no idea what laws are
There's
what
laws?
what I don't think the penalties for road rage and accidents in Russia are more than $25.
I don't think there's enough cops to enforce anything because they're never around when all this shit happens.
It is ever so obnoxious, the shit that I've seen on like these compilations of crashes and accidents and so on and so forth. There are some fucking nutcases.
I remember one. They were going around to turn or something,
or turnabout or whatever.
Yeah, they were going to turn, and the guy beeped his horn to go, and the person I think backed into him or something. Anyway, they ended up. These two guys got out of their car, grabbed a baseball bat, came over. No, he came over to beat the guy behind them that just beeped at him to go. That guy ended up taking the bat, beating the crap out of both those guys. Drove up on the curb and around them as they're knocked out on the fucking ground to just fuck this. I'm out of here,
Yeah, that's called instant karma.
Instant karma, yeah.
Instant karma. Those are good videos. Good video thing on YouTube too. The motorcycles that have the GoPros on their helmets or whatever, and say a car makes a right on red into the right lane, then drifts into the left lane right in front of the motorcycle or whatever. And the motorcyclist fucking pulls up next to him and just smashes their fucking mirror. Right up next side of them, looks at him, goes, fuck you. And the guy goes like this. Fuck you, out the window, and kicks it, punches it, whatever the fuck it is. And then just flies on the
floor.
It's instant justice, instant gratification. I've never got I wouldn't say away with it, but I've never got the opportunity where somebody actually, cut me off on my bike. But
those are the what do you call them, black holes or whatever that I fall into on Facebook, man. I look at, or not on Facebook, on YouTube. Yeah. I look at one of those, and then all of a sudden there's another one and another one. And
maybe we suggest this next. Maybe we suggest this next.
And then
video.
I'm like, wait a minute, that third one down looked good, but I'm already on this one. If I hit back now, will that come up again? And then all of a sudden it doesn't. It takes me back to the original one. I'm like, shit, I got to start all three of these over again just to get that one to pop back up that I should have went through in the first
I've spent countless fucking hours watching these, compilations of, The public freakouts fucking really entertain me for some reason when I'm bored as shit and I got nothing else to do. And a customer goes into Walmart and freaks out about nothing that's really relevant or important at all.
Right.
Well, why are you fucking harassing me because I'm fucking black or I'm fucking, I fit a description because I got this fucking T-shirt on, I'm wearing a jersey or because it's just so on and so forth. Nothing like specific, but you just see like the reaction of people that, like, what the fuck?
Did you see
what the fuck
the
is
one
going
the
on
other
in these
day
people's brains?
that chick that got caught stealing from Walmart or whatever, and she had like 3 or 4 irons, like electric irons for pressing your clothes. She had like 3 or 4 of them in her waist.
She was stealing irons. Aren't irons like $4 or something?
She had like 3 or 4 of them right here in her waistband and her shirt and everything over top of it. The thing was like, wait till you see what this woman stole or whatever. And she's just like, they kept coming out, man, like a clown car. I saw like another one.
I saw a good one that the guy got confronted like trying to leave a store. I don't know if it was a Walmart or whatever, but they confronted him and he's pulling out like ribs, like
steaks,
racks of ribs out of his fucking pants. And you're like, wow, that guy got like 2 racks of ribs and a couple fucking steaks. And it just kept fucking going and going. You're like, this guy had 100-something plus pounds of fucking of beef or meat or whatever the fuck it was in his fucking sweatpants. We can hear you. What?
Yeah. Something about Popeyes running out of chicken.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That made a bunch
national news.
That made a bunch of fucking YouTube highlight videos.
All right, so we're done with the intro talk here.
No, we're not done.
Back to national news that you were talking about bringing up.
We're going to talk about the Popeyes video because that was really cool.
I think you were going to bring up something about the place you used to work at or something.
This is called a segue.
Yeah, well, I'm segueing into let's talk about that now.
Segueing into restaurants being pieces of shit. Anyways, this fucking Popeyes on Lake Ave or whatever the fuck it is ran out of chicken. They shut it down. People freaked the fuck out. The news showed up and people are in the drive-thru like, oh, how the fuck can you do this? I need to feed my kids, blah, 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 so on and so forth. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I got to feed my kids with Popeyes chicken, fucking 20 piece. It doesn't matter.
KFC right down the street, motherfucker.
Anyways, seeing that I never got a cease and desist letter from the previous employer that I worked at, I'm going to come out and say right now, I've already said it online numerous times if you guys want to look at my post. I worked at a diner for a couple months and I became the manager of the kitchen. I had, plenty of experience, plenty of references, and I was financially...
Somebody trusted you as a manager of something?
Yeah, and I took really good care of that motherfucker, and I know what I'm doing when it comes to running a kitchen and shit like that. I know what I'm doing. I had proper training, so on and so forth. So I got this job working at this diner down at this diner in Charlotte, down at the Port Building. And there was a guy that had a...
That's why he was in charge. They only got like 1 customer a month.
No, they were booming when they first opened. I was there the first day they opened. Anyways, you fucking piece of shit. I worked there for a couple months, and everything went well for the first couple months, and it was smooth. It was cool. We didn't have a turnover rate. We didn't have, anybody,
Before or after Fast Ferry?
Way after. Way after the Fast Ferry. This was like 2 years ago. So it was the old Cheeseburger building.
Cheeseburger, that's right.
So literally the same exact location in the building as Cheeseburger. So the owner of a diner on Dewey Ave and Britain, over kitty corner from where the Wegmans used to be, which is now like Big Lots or whatever the fuck it was, right next to the pawn shop, had a, I would say, predominant diner. He was there for a couple years. He did well. And he wanted to expand from that location into a second location. And it was viable. It made sense. And he signed a contract through the city to take over the spot at the port. And long story short, got in way over his head and wound up fucking everybody and their mother over in the long run. Like, bad.
Really like that?
Really, really bad. Fucked over every single person that he could. He would take our what do you call it? Our
Paychecks.
Our
go to the track.
Our timestamps when we punch in and punch out, I get a little slip. Every time you punch in and punch out, you get a slip and whatever. I'd save those, so on and so forth, for whatever.
Was it electronic, like a slide card, or did you
no POS,
punch a clock?
No, POS system, like all digital.
Okay.
Touch screen, a little printer on the side, whatever. So at the end of the week, you'd get your accumulated hours. This is what you get for the week, your pay period. So Monday until Saturday, whatever, here's your fucking slip. You worked 40-something hours or 50 hours or whatever it is. I saved all those. Not knowing, not anticipating, not, whatever, the shit that could happen down the line. But I'm smart, and shit could hit the fan, whatever, it didn't matter. Shit hit the fan. Down the line, a couple months later, whatever, shit did hit the fan. I wound up quitting and, went to a different job. And, shit got cleared up between the owner and I because he was behind 3 weeks on pay. So I wasn't getting a paycheck. Nobody was getting a paycheck. He was offering, waitresses and cooks and dishwashers, cash. And here's cash. Just say, sign off on this piece of paper that I paid you cash and, I don't owe you these hours, so on and so forth. I never signed shit. Flat out refused to accept cash from this dude, so on and so forth. And I went to this other job.
He was trying to have a paper trail of getting out of, or you accepting not getting paid with the understanding verbally that I'm going to pay you cash, bro, or whatever.
I flat out refused cash because the cash that he was trying to offer me was tax deducted, what I would have gotten in a paycheck, but the taxes that were deducted never got reported. So I would have never got my, at the end of the year, been able to report those. So he's like, oh, you worked fucking X amount of hours and, after taxes, this is what your pay would have been. Here's this amount of money. I'm like, no.
Wait, so he tried to pay you cash and withhold the taxes from it?
He offered in cash.
So you made $10 an hour, let's say, and he tried to pay you $7, saying they would have taken $3 in taxes anyway.
Right, exactly.
Fuck you, bro.
Exactly. So
you're not reporting it either. You're not losing anything on it either. Fuck that.
The point is he was not. He wasn't getting deducted for taxes or reporting taxes or sales or anything at all. And it got to the point where he was 3 weeks behind on paychecks, and I got to the point where I said, dude, I'm done. Unless you fucking pay me right now in fucking handwritten checks, I'm walking. And I wound up leaving and went to another fucking restaurant down in Charlotte, and I was there for 2 or 3 weeks, and he begged me to come back with a raise. I went there, I think maybe 2 more weeks, and he settled up those 3 paychecks or whatever the fuck it was that he still owed me. And after the 2 weeks that I came back, it just shit hit the fucking fan. There was me and 2 people underneath me and a dishwasher, and he's like, oh, everybody's getting their paychecks cut.
Except for Steve.
Yeah, that should have been a thing because I was the fucking dude. I was the one running the fucking kitchen. He's like, I'm going to take you from fucking $15 an hour down to $10 an hour. So everybody in the kitchen's making $10 an hour. I'm like, no, motherfucker.
Not me.
I'm not taking a $5 an hour paycheck or hourly fucking pay rate cut or whatever.
Going to unemployment.
He's like, oh, you don't like that? I was like, no, I don't like that. He's like, well, you can leave. I'm like, okay.
Deuces.
See you fucking later.
See ya.
I kept all my fucking pay stubs and my clock in, clock out fucking stubs and so on and so forth, and filed with the labor board along with everybody else that's dealt with this.
Got your public defender and said, yo, let's fuck this guy up.
No, it's not a public defender. It's not a criminal defense case. Oh, no.
Speaking of which. Oh, wait, never mind.
We'll get to that. No,
that was a good segue.
There's been, numerous friends that I've met through the restaurant, so on and so forth, that have, stuck with him through the, the shit that happened after I left, and, then they wound up fucking dealing with the same shit.
Right.
He just owes so many people so much money, so on and so forth, and he just refuses to accept it and refuses to acknowledge the money that he owes. The labor board has all the fucking paperwork. They've done their investigations, and now he's filing for bankruptcy. And the city of Rochester is kicking him out of the port building. They've terminated his lease 2 years premature because he's 3 months behind on his lease, and so on and so forth.
No, it's really
fucking,
cool.
It's fucking hilarious how big of a scumbag this dude is, and the threats that he's made, and the comments and private messages and texts and phone calls and all this other shit that this dude has made. The idea for that restaurant and that building was a really good idea. A retro fucking 50s, 60s fucking, diner. It worked, but it was just ran by the wrong fucking person and poorly managed and, so on and so forth. And it got ugly over the last year and some change. I've made it almost my daily fucking
mission
vendetta to expose this man, if you want to call him a man.
I mean, you said that, but you haven't brought up the name of the place yet, or the guy's name, or
I don't know if that would kind of incriminate myself. But Mom's
why would it incriminate you? You're saying this is what happened, right?
Mom's Margio's Diner at the port. His name is Jeffrey Scott. He is now finally admitting. Finally admitting after all this time that he is the co-owner of the business itself. He fucked me over. He fucked me over for a lot of money and a lot of my friends for a lot of money. And he basically says, "Go fuck yourself."
Hold on a second, man. He commented, so I got to say something.
Who did?
A buddy of mine that was one of my best friends when I was in the Marines, dude, is actually watching me right now and just commented. That's pretty fucking cool, man.
Salud.
That's all. That's pretty fucking cool. He just said, "Hey, those beers are getting warm."
Salud, cilantro, pros.
Eats lots of broccoli. Hoorah.
Hoorah. Anyway, so
I haven't done that with Holly though. He's not.
Anyways, Jeffrey Scott is the quote unquote owner, manager, whatever. He's the boss of the restaurant, and I've seen him talk down to girls like waitresses and hostess and servers or whatever the fuck, to the point that they were in tears over, ringing up a check for a table wrong, and like the drawer would be off like $1, and he would just berate, like, to the point that this girl was in tears. And I'm like, who the fuck are you, and who gives you the right to speak to anybody like that? Like, mistakes happen, and whatever, it happened.
Can I do a little side thing off of that right there?
Go nuts.
So
fuck that motherfucker.
It kills me to go through gas stations, fast food places, or whatever, and like you give them your money, and then you're like, "Hold on, I have my change," and you give them it's $7.19, and you give them 10, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Hold on, I have change." You give them a quarter, they're fucking lost, man. Just lost. My daughter has literally spoken over me in the drive-thru and told the people what to give me in change.
Give her the fucking 7 cents back.
Give them the $2.06 or literally
whatever it is.
Like, it's not that hard. So I just went to.
They're relying on that. They're relying on that,
and that's it.
They're relying on that fucking that calculator. That's.
I've had people just straight up give me back that quarter or whatever, and then whatever the change would have been, like, just ignore the fact that I said, "Hey, I have change," so I get an extra bill.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, I don't want that fucking handful of change.
Put that quarter in their hand, still the $20, and then just give me back that and my quarter right back too.
Yeah,
because they're so confused.
Your total is $10.15, and I give you $10.25.
Yes.
Like fuck.
Right.
Around the 7 times pi. Like, just give me fuck you, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is what it is. I understand. Like, you can cut down on the pocket change that you have or whatever. So I got to the point where I don't even care anymore.
I went to the dollar store the other day, and I was picking up, I think, dog food, and this girl.
You're buying dog food? The dog?
Yeah, well, it's Purina, it's Beneful. Anyway, I pick up dog food, and for some reason, I heard the girl at the register tell the woman in front of me, "Hey, do you want a Reese's?" Like, they were like on sale. They must have been just trying to dump them, because they said they're having a competition to see who could get rid of like the most of these Reese's or whatever.
Like not inner store, but
just
a regional fucking promotion.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I put my thing up there. She did the dog food, and she's like, hey, do you want to read? I'm like, hey, yeah, you're having a competition. Give me 2 of them. My son loves them. I'm like, here, give me 2. I handed her $20. I think the total came to like 17 something. I handed her money.
Give me my 2 and
bro.
some
She
change,
hands
whatever.
me back a 10 and some change, and I'm like, this isn't right. She goes, what do you mean? I go, I gave you a 20 for the dog food alone is $14.
The total was 17. I gave you a 20.
And you gave me a 10 back. Like this, your drawer's going to be fucked up.
And you might lose your job over
bro,
that.
She goes, thank you so much. If I would have done that again, I would have lost my job. So I guarantee by the end of the week, she probably doesn't have her job anymore. Like,
I'll give you respect right now. That's the right thing to do. Like there's certain points where
I went through the the self checkout thing today with I bought.
Fuck you for doing that, by the way. But no. Before stop. Before we get to the self checkout shit, but there's been a point where even if I was hard up for cash and like really down and out, I don't want somebody to lose their job over.
I'm not saying I haven't done it before, dude. Seriously, I'm not saying I haven't. But 90% of the time,
I've done it before. But I'd say
90% of the time, dude, I'm like, no, that's not right.
It's not karma or whatever you want to call it. It feels better at the end. It feels
do the right thing.
It feels better at the end of the day. Be like, you know what, that person isn't gonna get chastised and yelled at.
How about this? If that person was a fucking douche to me or whatever, I'm not saving your job. You dumbass. You know,
I'm taking that money,
and
I'm celebrating.
That's about the only time that I've done that.
Mistakes happen. So, anyways, back to the self checkout.
Oh, the self checkout.
Fuck.
I agree.
Fuck those.
Listen to this. I agree. We went to the Walmart in Henrietta. Me and my mom.
We
were closing.
My mother and I.
We were closing the camp down. I bought a bunch of antifreeze, RV antifreeze shit from Walmart. 10 gallon jugs. All right, in a shopping cart. We come back through there was one open register.
That's
one.
I still don't understand how
there was 10 self checkouts over here, and then on this side. 10 more self-checkouts. I thought they were registers. They also had the self-checkout thing.
No,
there was one register at Walmart, bro, in Henrietta. There was one person running a register.
I don't work for Walmart.
All the rest were check yourself out.
I don't get paid to...
That's kind of fucked up, man. That's
a
lot of jobs. Dude.
I don't get paid to scan these items and
I agree.
Check out. Like, get rid of those fucking self-checkouts.
And honestly, sometimes it is faster or whatever, and you really don't mind because you're moving faster. But when you think about it, that's somebody's job, man. That's people's job.
Not only is it somebody's job, it creates the possibility of theft.
A lot more possibility of theft.
The theft and so on and so forth, whatever you want to look at it as. I do not work for your store. I understand that you want to cut down on labor cost and so on and so forth, but those fucking machines, the self-checkout machines are like, trying to figure out a good word to describe it. My father told me when they first came out when I was younger, he said,
robots are taking over.
Not that. He's like, I absolutely 100% refuse to ever use a self-checkout. They're taking away people's jobs 100%.
I agree.
People are going to figure out a way to scam it, cheat it, or so on and so forth.
Just saw a video of that.
Fuck that.
Some random guy was like videoing this broad, and she was like every other item, if that, she was scanning, and then like
tossing two things in the
two
bag.
more things in the bag. I literally did all 10 of those. I couldn't even. I wanted to find a button to where I could put 10 of this. Like
so
sometimes,
scan it 10
sometimes
times,
when you're running register, you can be like, okay, 3, and then scan it once, and it's times 3. I couldn't do that self checkout. I had to scan all 10. I only did 10 times, but of these freaking things.
Perfect example. I buy ramen noodles, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I still love eating ramen noodles. I don't give a fuck if it's crackhead soup or the shittiest thing in the world. I eat ramen noodles. They're fucking delicious. They're filling and they're fucking delicious. Whatever, doesn't matter. I buy them by the caseload, but if I mix the flavors, I have to literally scan each single fucking packet itself. Yep. I got like 30 or 40 of these motherfuckers.
We really don't have to. You can just scan them. You doing it yourself.
You can just scan.
What the fuck do you care if their inventory's off between beef and chicken?
Yeah, but if I'm off 1, or if I'm off 2, or I'm whatever, I could fuck myself or I could fuck the store. It doesn't matter. It's 25 cents. towards me or 25 cents towards them, it is what it is. I don't work for you. I'm not getting paid for scanning these items. I would rather have somebody getting paid, 11 or $12 an hour, whatever the fuck it is, to stand at a register and scan that shit for me and, have an income that supports themselves. So they're not on welfare or they're not on food stamps or they're not, whatever the fucking situation may be. I don't use the self-checkouts.
You ever added hot sauce to your ramen noodles?
Every goddamn time.
It's my buddy. My buddy Jeremy there said add hot sauce to your ramen noodles.
I did 9.5 months in the county jail, and we don't make that fucking. We don't boil the water with the noodles in the water.
They put it in the toilet and let it fucking soak.
We did the plastic bag method.
Right on top of their jailhouse brew.
Wow. I'm going to do it 1 week. I'm going to fucking make jailhouse gumbo here. You take your ramen noodle package, you crunch them up, Cheez-Its or whatever the fuck it is, all crunched up.
I crunch them up every time I make them.
I don't boil
eat that shit with a spoon like soup.
I don't boil my fucking noodles in the pan or the pot or whatever. I put them into a fucking bowl, boil water, pour the boiling water into the bowl or whatever, and cover it up.
Let the noodle soak that shit up.
Oh, sorry. No, you let the noodles soak the water up, and boom, there you go.
Done.
Cheez-Its and noodles and hot sauce and fucking pickles and whatever the fuck else you want to add to it. Basically, it's jailhouse gumbo.
Jailhouse gumbo. What are you from? Fucking Nolans?
Go to the Monroe County Jail and fucking ask you guys want to.
I do not want to go to the Monroe County Jail.
Nobody ever wants to go to the Monroe County Jail. But if you do go to the Monroe County Jail and say, yo, you want to throw it on gumbo, it's two soups and a cheese product, which means 2 Remy noodle packets and Cheez-It, like the little individual fucking Cheez-It packets or whatever, or the peanut butter crackers, whatever, scrape the peanut butter off, so on and so forth. It is what it is. They take you get like 5 motherfuckers together, and you put it all in a big ass garbage bag.
Jailhouse gumbo, huh?
Yeah, and you make a meal
and
out of
Steve's the cooking bitch.
Yeah, that was.
Back when he had hair for them to grab a hold of while they were blowing them.
Unfortunately, I had to learn how the jailhouse shit worked when I was like 21
So Steve was worried about going to jail, possibly for a day or two. That's why he had me shave his head. He goes, dude, I want you to shave my head. I ain't going to jail looking like a girl so they can wrap my hair up in their hand while I'm blowing them. That's very accurate.
I don't think that's by any means close to the truth. Obviously, we all know that I cut my hair last week.
You didn't cut it, I cut it, and my wife cut it, and Mikey tried to cut it.
That was the highlight of the Snapchat story itself. That fucking kid can't operate in public.
Literally tried to cut above the rubber band, dude.
Well, it wasn't even.
That was worse than the 17 times he tried to get it. Cut was originally right above the rubber band.
It took like 3 people to fucking, it's still
Tommy and my wife, me, we all had to.
Everybody else cut below the rubber band.
I had the rest of his hair off in the amount of time it took him to cut that one fucking patch.
I think it took 3 Snapchats for Mikey to cut one fucking little bundle of hair. I guess
you ready to sit down? Because you're fucking making me nervous over here. You're throwing comments out, so you might as well have a seat.
Yeah, if you're going to be on the...
Hey, everybody. Anybody tell me if you don't want Brian to sit down? Hey, everybody said they don't want you to sit down. Sit your ass down, motherfucker.
I have not read one single comment the
entire
time.
Been.
I'm more focused on, talking, I guess.
You're focused?
I'm not focused at all. Hi. Hola. Oh, you're really loud. Anyways, no, Jailhouse Gumbo was the shit, and I really enjoyed it, and it's just nothing but sodium and salt and fucking garbage, empty carbs, whatever, but it fucking fills you up when you're eating nothing but soy-based product in the county jail. So all that shit that you get on a tray in the county jail it's garbage. It's empty nutrients and bullshit garbage food. So don't go to jail for the first thing, but I skipped out on jail today, I guess. I wouldn't say skipped out on it, but I avoided jail. I'm I'm in the process of a aggravated harassment in the second charge right now, which is pretty much bullshit. And I met with the public attorney today, and he agreed with me that it's bullshit.
I got the 7-year-old wasn't mad that Steve touched him improperly.
No, that's not even funny.
Oh no, that's not what happened.
No,
he didn't like it.
I got fingerprinted yesterday at the Greece police station, and the guy that fucking processed my information and booked me or whatever looked over my, in my case, and he's like, "This is complete bullshit. Like, it's not going to stick." I met with the public defender today and explained to him before court. And he looked at me. He's like, "This is not going to stick. Don't worry about it." So on and so forth. And I went in front of the judge, and the judge says, "Blah, blah, blah. How do you plead?" I was like, "Not guilty," so on and so forth. And the DA's like, "I'm not ready to dismiss these charges because I haven't had time to speak to the victim." And I looked at the public defender. I was like, I was next to the victim when she called the said fucking public defender and said she wants to drop the charges, so on and so forth. And she said to the judge, "I never spoke with the victim," blah, blah, blah. The public defender looked at me. He's like, "Dude, this is not going to stick. Don't worry about it," blah, blah, blah. So I was stressing out like a motherfucker, thinking that I'm going to go to jail or be fucking, held with bail.
Long story short, she told her friend, "Yeah, Steve did this to me," but she forgot to mention that it was during sex and she enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. So, so then, there was cops called and...
You can't comment on that right now.
Yeah, none of that is anywhere near what the fuck happened, but anyways, I
tried to help you.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. The victim in this scenario is still friends with me, and I have phone records and text messages. I have text messages and phone logs and so on and so forth to say, hey, you know what? If I was such a threat to the person that I was being accused of harassing, why is this person still contacting me? And so on and so forth.
Be proud of the size of your penis, bro.
I am. Check me out.
That's why she's still contacting you.
Check me out. Check me out on Tinder.
Beat me up all you want, as long as you beat me up.
I don't. Yeah. I don't want to elaborate on this conversation. Anyways, I went to court today, and we're going through the motions. Whatever, it's going to get it's going to get dropped, and I'm going to move forward. And it's a little bit of weight off of my shoulders, knowing that my public defender said, "Don't worry about it. You got nothing to worry about. It's gonna fucking." It's going to go
If
away.
Your public defender tells you that, then, I think you're pretty good.
Yeah.
You're on the fast track there.
Yeah. The public defender could be like, maybe we should talk about this, or you should call me tomorrow or whatever, so on and so forth. Maybe we should discuss what the, details of the case are, get your side of the story. He looked right at me and said, "Don't fucking worry about it." I was like, this girl called the DA and wants to drop the charges, and he's like, "I assume so. Don't worry about it." Fucking whatever.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
We'd like to welcome Brian to the show.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, cheers, salute, cilantro, prost.
Eats lots of broccoli. One of these days I'm going to say the other term I was going to use. Eats lots of not broccoli.
Eats a lots of cock in your face, faggot. Oh.
Who keeps F-bomb, man?
Who keeps fucking?
That was definitely me. That
slamming
time.
their fucking beers on the kind
that even reverbs, bro.
Yeah, that really sucks, by the way. Anyways, I
tried to have Dave call me, man, and he didn't. He probably doesn't remember my number, so I will put it back on there.
I still haven't read any of the comments, nor do I give a fuck.
It's all right. I'm keeping that part covered.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so anybody that is watching and feels like helping me out, go to, I'm pretty sure it's Channel 13, WHAM's post about the Margio's Diner or whatever, and weigh in your comments about how the owner should pay his employees, current and previous.
So the point of that story is pretty much you're owed a bunch of back money? Or
100%.
You're owed some back money?
100%.
You and everybody that worked there.
Right. I'm just saying that's why he brought it up and everything, and that's why they're doing a story on it.
Just a piece of shit.
The reason they're doing a story on it is because
it's not going to grow anymore by pulling on it, bro.
The reason they did the story on the diner is because he is in a city-owned building, and he's requesting a hearing to
Break his lease.
not to break his lease, to reduce his rent, and so on and so forth. Like,
Oh, I thought what you posted was about him breaking
I thought
his
he
lease.
was.
'Cause-
no, they terminated his lease
He's in that.
because he's in the rears 3 months, and he's like, "Well, you should help me out because, poor me."
He's
I
in the
can't-
port in that terminal in that.
The old
They-
cheeseburger
yeah.
building, right across from California Road.
All those people got like dollar leases and shit just to try and
when
get.
they first
business- yeah.
when they first moved in their first year,
And it never panned out ever. That
California-
was the worst thing
Calif-
Rochester ever did.
California Rolling has been there for a long time,
It's California rolling, man.
and they pay their fucking bills on time. And
and
didn't
they
have-
charge you $17 for a piece of
Fucking uncooked fish
No.
this big.
I will not slander fucking California Rolling because I fucking love that fucking
It's
place.
not necessarily slander. I mean, if they can get it, they can get it. It's
Right.
expensive to eat sushi, dude. Right? Am I right? I mean, it's expensive.
And
You are not getting
it-
full
it
on
is-
one little order
No,
of sushi, and it's like $15.
absolutely not.
So
But you got to.
I'm just saying,
you got to shop around, and
I would never eat it
it's
anyway.
not.
but
It's not fresh fish. It's not the catch of the day fish, and so on and so forth. It's not real sushi. But it is sushi, but it's not.
so it's not real sushi, and
Well,
they're still charging you $17 a fucking order.
Sushi is just
That's
uncooked.
why they're the
uncooked.
ones that are still in business, right?
They're doing good.
Dude, I'm not dogging them. Everybody loves that shit. I could never do it, but lots of people love that shit.
They're doing good down there. They're not advertising that it's fresh caught. It got caught this day and got shipped.
No,
on
I
a
get
plane.
it. I
So
get it.
They're not advertising shit like that. So they're being honest. Like, there's no such thing as
Again,
you know,
I'm not trying
you
to dog them on that. It's just
they charge.
sushi prices, man.
They're charging market value plus their markup, and
That's
whatever. It is what it is.
Shit.
And they do a really good job. Their presentation is good. Their service is amazing. Everything about California Rolling is awesome.
I agree. I could go to Taco Bell or I could go to Monte Albans. You know what I mean? Like
You're getting at Taco Bell for the price that you're paying.
similar-ish. You know what I mean? But I would rather go to Monte Albans and pay the extra money for the
Exactly.
authentic Mexican food. You know?
Yes. So the diner is just this. It's an old 50-year-old man, Greek fucking diner, whatever the fuck he is, and thinks that he knows, that claims to be a chef and how to do this and how to do that, and you can't look at him and say you're doing this wrong. I taught this dude how to make a chicken French from the chef that taught me how to make a chicken French. And he's like, "Oh, so what do I need? What ingredients do I need to make chicken French?" I'm like, "You're 50 years old, and you've run restaurants your entire life. Like, you don't know the basic ingredients to a chicken French? You need your sherry, your chicken stock, your lemon, your butter, and why don't you know that?" He's like, "I don't know."
Do we have this set for phone calls, or can we have it set
Yeah,
for phone calls?
100%.
All right, go ahead. Come on.
100%. So this guy didn't have any knowledge of anything other than his mom's recipe, so on and so forth. And I walked in there and taught him like the basics of stupid shit. How do you make a prime rib? Like, you throw it in the oven for 4 or 5 hours at 350 degrees, temp it, and
That's how you make a prime rib, really?
a prime rib is baked in the oven.
I really don't know. I've never
Well, you take
worked in a restaurant at all besides Wendy's.
you take a slab of prime rib and you dry rub it and
So
throw it in the fucking oven at 350 for 3 or 4 hours. Pull it out and check the temp. You cook it
Try to make
to
it at that restaurant.
well. You cook every
Well,
restaurant
this-
that I've ever worked
I'm
at.
trying to get the
Every
how
restaurant
do you,
that
how do you? I'm sorry, but how do you know how many prime rib you're going to sell that night at a restaurant to where
you don't.
you're not? But
You don't-
do you throw food away? Do you
No, no,
cook
no.
it the next day? So if you come in, the first couple prime ribs are just getting microwaved. They're getting queued. That's
You-
what the term
No,
for McDonald's is.
you-
If they microwave something, they call it getting queued.
You advertise fucking like Saturday night is prime rib night, and people come on Saturdays to get prime rib.
Right.
I think
And
based off-
it's
Well, let's say you have
it's-
50 left, man. That
yeah.
Yeah,
If
but
you,
you also base it off previous sales too.
No, I
You
get
had-
it.
You
Yeah,
had about
100%.
this, and if
100%.
even if you get
I
close
get
to the
it, but
ballpark, so.
you could still be okay.
may
Let's
throw
let's
away
say
one or two.
literally
Hey,
that
we're-
close.
you can't
There's
talk over
no
each other.
way.
I know, but there's no way you're one or two that you're throwing away. There's no way that you're that close.
You're not buying like
Let's say
you're not buying 50 portions of prime rib. You're buying like 12 portions of prime rib.
I get it, but let's say you're off by 10 servings. Do they throw it away, or do they?
No.
You make it into a stew or something.
Yes,
Yes. So
but you can reheat.
repurpose the food.
You could. I wouldn't say reheat, but you can reuse a prime rib. You can sell prime rib on Sunday after prime rib day, whatever your leftovers are. You can sell your prime rib. It's not going to be as fresh as
That's what
right
I'm
out of the
asking.
oven.
Do they do that? Would they?
Yes, 100%.
Sell it again the next day.
100%.
They chop out the burgers and put it in the
They're
chili.
still going to charge the
No.
$17.98 that it is on the menu, though, for something they cooked the day before.
If you do prime rib day, that's when it's
Actually
that's
cheaper, so they're charging you more than
that's the markups on prime rib day because it's not available any day other than that day. If you get lucky, you go and get leftovers on the
I'm
day
just wondering
after.
if like a restaurant type of thing like throws food away
you
or
never
they
throw,
repurpose it.
you never throw it away. You could chop it up and grind it into your meat hot sauce and shit like that, or make a what's called not a French dip or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can use prime rib as an ingredient into like a meatloaf or a steak sandwich, or whatever you really want to do with it. And you can advertise that I'm using class A or grade A fucking meat.
You say you
plus
can't,
prime rib fucking cuts into my.
You say you can do that. That's
Phillies.
what I'm asking is if they do that. Like you said, you can do that, but
100%. If you're not, but you can also freeze. You can also freeze your prime rib and thaw it out and then reheat it in your au jus or whatever. Which I don't.
Thank you. That's what I'm asking you. So they do like
they do 100%. Every restaurant that I've ever worked at.
In other words, it's money loss, right? I mean, it's loss.
Yes, it's.
You don't want to chop that shit up as loss.
It's an overhead, yeah. If you chop it up, you lose a lot of money on it.
You're most likely not making 20 extra.
No, if you buy
when you first open a restaurant, maybe you're making more than you think you're going to.
Sure, I get it.
You're getting you're building up.
You start looking back at what your sales were, and you start going based off that.
Yeah, I'm not hearing him at all.
I hear
headphones.
I hear him 100%. You're good.
I just don't think it's one or two though.
Go ahead, start talking for a second.
I hear me. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Can y'all hear me out there?
I hear you perfectly fine.
I'll trust you.
If you
sit next to me, so I don't know if I'm hearing him.
I hear him in my head.
Okay.
I hear him. Okay. If you buy a prime rib, like say you go to like Sam's Club or whatever, you buy a prime rib that's 2.5 foot or whatever the fuck it is.
Is that beef?
It's prime fucking rib. Fuck you, Ron. Anyways, you bake that or roast it or whatever the fuck you actually want to call it, and you take cuts like this or whatever. You have 3 different cuts depending on what you want to sell. And whatever's left over, you wrap it up, throw it in the fridge. The next day, you have a sale on it or a special on it, so on and so forth. And if it doesn't get sold on Monday and Tuesday, you wrap it up, you freeze it, and then you save it for the next week. Should you do that? No. Do people do that? 100%.
I'm getting ready to throw up defenses here because I'm going to say it really doesn't matter to me. I get like a New York strip or something. I dip it all in ketchup and shit anyway.
Yeah. You dip steak?
I was getting ready to. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I come down to his camp.
Absolutely.
I brought steaks with me. Good ones. I didn't fucking cheap out. Good steaks. Cook them up. Everything was great.
Seasoned them all up good, too.
Pours ketchup. I was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
To each his own. Everybody's got their own palate.
That's tainted. That's dirty shit. I agree.
Ketchup is pretty fucking.
I might as well just eat goat, Yeah, seriously. Doesn't matter. I'm just dousing it in ketchup anyway.
You go to Walmart. You go to Walmart and buy the shittiest
ketchup guy. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, if you want ketchup on your fucking steak, go ahead. I don't understand.
I go to weddings and shit, dude, and they're like bringing around steaks to everybody, and I'm like, "Excuse me, miss, can I get some ketchup over here?" And the table I'm sitting at, it's like,
I would honestly, I'd be a little bit cooler with you putting ketchup or dipping in ketchup than A1 sauce, because A1 sauce is
That's
absolutely bullshit.
The steak sauce, though, right? Like that's what you're supposed to use to dip your steak in. But
Your
again,
steak
then
should-
once you're
your-
dipping your steak in that, it tastes like that, right? I mean,
Your steak shouldn't
Absolutely.
your steak shouldn't be dipped in anything whatsoever.
I agree.
It should be
I
properly-
100%.
It should be properly seasoned, and it should be juicy enough that you don't need to dip it.
I
You don't need to-
100%
you don't-
That's all you
agree.
need.
You don't have to mask the taste or mask the texture or the.
I can eat it without it, but I 100% agree. Like you shouldn't have to dip it. You
Shouldn't
shouldn't
bite
want
good
to.
steak.
It should taste so good that you don't want to dip it in ketchup. You know,
Yeah,
I agree 100%. But
that's
that's how I roll.
I wouldn't say that you were the first person that's ever done that or admitted to doing that, but well, do what the fuck you want to do, man. I don't give a fuck. If you want to fucking dip it in applesauce, go fucking nuts, dude. I really don't give a fuck. Speaking of applesauce and random shit, my buddy Jeff takes mashed potatoes and pours applesauce on the top of it. I don't know why.
I do the
I've
corn.
never-
I do corn.
My buddy
Never
Tim
understood it.
puts applesauce in the spaghetti.
Wait, what?
Applesauce in the spaghetti
In spaghetti.
That's
with the sauce.
Yeah, no, it's fucking spaghetti.
Mashed-
Not noodles and applesauce.
What do they call
Spaghetti.
that? Shit?
Like
After
with
sauce.
fucking
sauce.
spaghetti
And then he
and
puts
marinara and puts
Yeah.
applesauce on top of it. That's fucking weird.
That's really gross.
It's worse than
That's
ketchup.
fucking weird. My buddy fucking puts applesauce on his mashed potatoes, and I was like, why?
That's just as bad.
That's what the fuck he does.
So
hey.
those are a couple things I try to keep separated on my plate at like,
Yeah.
Christmas
And
or Thanksgiving.
When you go to old
mashed potatoes and
when you go to-
applesauce.
when you
you
go
know?
to the old country buffet, like
yeah.
take a look around
Those
and
are
be
a
like,
couple
is,
things I'm keeping separated.
is anybody else doing this? Nobody else is. Oh, well, I'm gonna be the
I
guy
do-
that starts doing this.
I do
Corn
corn,
mashed
mashed potatoes and corn, and I mix those two together.
Because corn's a piece of
And
shit.
then a
Fuck
shit
corn.
ton of butter mixed with both. It's so good. Yeah, exactly. That's
We-
where it
we
comes
can
from. Thanks.
Corn
Thanks,
is
Steve.
corn is complete bullshit. It's got no nutritional fucking benefits for you. There's no nutritional value in it. It's nothing but empty carbs and a fill, if you will. Corn is garbage.
Yeah, but it's so good off the cob, man.
Yeah, but essentially it's useless. There's nothing
Empty
in
calories or
There's
something? I mean,
there's
it's just-
nothing in corn that is.
Bro, that's like one of the vegetables that I eat, okay?
It's one of the very few vegetables
And
that I eat.
ketchup,
Also,
all right?
I'll eat-
It's
Tomatoes,
not a
okay?
vegetable either.
I'll eat corn right out of the can.
Corn's a starch, not a vegetable.
It's
It's like a potato.
It's still a vegetable. Potatoes are
You're-
vegetable too.
You're
Yeah,
right.
I mean, if you want to, if
you're
that's the only
right.
thing you eat, and you want to call it a vegetable, yeah.
It's still a
thanks,
vegetable.
okay.
It's still a
Vegetable,
vegetable.
yeah.
And this
That's
Because it
my
grows
girlfriend.
out
I
of the
gotta
ground,
gotta
right?
deal
Isn't
with
that what
it
makes
all
it
the
a...
and starch is horrible for you.
Most
In any-
fruits
in
grow
any-
on like bushes and trees, and then like vegetables grow out of the ground or some shit, right? Like in the general sense, kind of.
That I'm not a fucking farmer. I
I-
have no idea. No, starches are horrible. Like starches is like bread and potatoes and shit like that. It's basically empty carbs or calories or whatever the fuck it is. I'm not a farmer. I'm not a dietitian or whatever the fuck it
I eat
is.
like 2 vegetables, so
I eat corn.
I tried to
Potatoes.
pass it off as a vegetable.
What is it? Baked beans, corn, potatoes, and
Which baked beans, man?
It's music.
Grandma Brown's or what's the other one?
The Boston, buddy. Not the
Boston?
Boston. What the
Oh,
fuck is
there's
that?
another one. My mom was always, my dad actually was always the Grandma Brown's, and then there's
The
another
one with the guy with the
Brown
dog. The
can.
guy with the dog.
Bushes.
bushes. There you
yeah.
go.
I like baked beans. I like corn. I
Ever
like
had baked beans with bacon mixed into the
with the maple
yeah.
maple
I
bacon.
can't eat that shit.
I can't. I don't eat any
Everything's
greens.
Better with bacon.
There's not one single green vegetable that I can eat without
vomiting.
It's not the taste, and it's not anything about it. It's the texture. I bite into it, and it's just lettuce is stupid. Oh, you don't taste it. I'm like, yeah. Well, why
Yeah,
the
you do.
fuck are you
Crunchy
eating?
water.
Why
Yes,
are you
you're right.
eating?
It's
Why
gross.
are you eating it if you don't taste it? Well, it's a foreign texture that I'm
I
not
agree.
used to.
I don't like
It's
it at all.
It's fucking weird and it's stupid and I
I
hate
agree.
it.
I'm not a rabbit.
Carrots are stupid.
Disgusting.
Fuck carrots. Asparagus.
Makes your piss stink and turn bright green or something.
Brussels sprouts. Fuck you.
Stinky.
If I can't
I eat
spell
green beans all the time.
if I can't
That's
spell
all-
it, I
that's
ain't
what
eating it, motherfucker.
So when you eat green beans, do you eat the outer thing too, or just the beans on the inside?
Is that like a leaf or is that a shell?
Yeah,
or?
isn't that green bean? No, the green beans are like the cylinder things that almost look like macaroni with beans inside, right?
There's
But they're
sweet.
green.
There's sweet peas, and then there's
Aren't they kind of chewy and
Yeah,
like
they're long. It depends on what you get. If you get
almost
them in
like
a can,
textured like
they're
macaroni though? Like
I ate fresh green beans that are this long, and
But
green beans.
totally
I thought peas.
cylinder, like I said, like a piece of macaroni though. Like they're
Green
with,
beans
with the beans on the inside.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess.
And that the other one I'm thinking of is not pea, maybe it's peas. The long
What do you mean nobody eats peas?
No,
Sweet,
not that.
sweet
Peas in a
peas is
pod.
the
right.
sweet peas
That's
is the
other
only
thing I was
And
thinking
then
of.
you eat them
Sweet-
outside of that,
Or the like
fresh,
canned
you eat them.
peas is
sweet peas is the only green
whatever.
that I will eat.
Disgusting.
Sweet peas is the only green that I'll eat. A little fucking salted fucking.
Carnivore,
Right out of a
motherfucker.
can,
I
salted as shit.
I shoot my deer and
I-
fucking cook it up. God
I-
damn it!
That's how I am with my green beans.
I-
I like the fresh
I-
style ones out of a can from
Exactly.
Del Monte.
Cook my deer,
Or-
throw it on
I-
the grill, and dip it
I-
in ketchup.
I eat steak, hamburgers, bacon, venison, chicken.
It's the
A little bit of fish here and there. I don't.
All my food groups are meat.
I don't. Yeah. My food pyramid or whatever the fuck you want to call it consists of manly shit. I don't. I think vegetables are stupid. I don't understand how vegans
Manly
are
shit and
how vegetarians like. I don't know
Sushi.
how. I don't. Well, that's fish.
fish wrapped
It's
up,
pre-
in,
it's- it's-
wrapped up in
well,
seaweed
That's
and
actually good.
No. I.
So-
pick it up with
But I
chopsticks.
can't tell.
Yeah, that's well. That's
Tried it one time.
fish has got the protein in it, so that's okay. A lot of fish has the daily intake or whatever of protein, so that's understandable. But lettuce and tomatoes and onions and celery and like the whole list of fucking vegetables, I don't get how people can live off just that as a diet. It's stupid. I would say it's stupid. It doesn't make sense to me because I don't think you're getting all your vitamins and your nutritional value out of
I don't know. My
shit
my
that grew out of the
girlfriend
ground.
Isn't a vegetarian, but she's not like a big meat eater, so she will do all that.
Huh.
She'll eat what's right.
But
what's
if she's
healthy,
on
stuff like that.
She's on
She'll eat
a
some of the
specific
other stuff.
diet though. She knows she's counting every
Sometimes, yeah.
every
This time
aspect
she
of it.
is. She counts her macros and
right.
all that. But there's a lot of times she's not, and she'll eat meat too. But for the most part, she is. She tries to go out salads and stuff like that. That's all she's about.
Shit, sorry.
Well, she's.
Fine, I gotta go pee. Sorry.
Go ahead. I already muted your mic. Don't worry
I
about it.
know, but I
Uh,
wanted to throw it out there.
Your
Shut up.
your girls into like regiments and dieting and exercise and I wouldn't say the whole scheme of things, but she's got a regimen or
Yeah, she's got a plan. Absolutely.
she's got a plan and it's not something that
she'll follow for a while and then she'll fall off and she'll go back to it. She knows what she's supposed to do. She likes other things.
Is
but
she in
knows
shape?
What the right thing
Is she in shape?
Absolutely.
I've met her one time and I didn't look at her like, oh.
She was, she's been up and down. She was up and down for a while, and then she started on the Beachbody thing. And
She's not battling. I would say like obesity or like
she ain't nothing near
yeah,
me. No,
right.
yeah, absolutely not.
So she's
the opposite of me. I have a lot of respect for.
I'll give her
what she does.
I'll give her credit 100%.
She wakes up every morning earlier than everybody else, goes down, does her workout.
Right.
She does shakes that she does for nutrients. And for the most part, she tries to eat right. I'm a big detriment to that because I don't.
Yeah, because
I like food. I like good food. Tasting food.
I know what my fucking meal number is at Taco Bell. I know what my meal number is
Yeah.
at Burger King, and I can't say that. I don't eat healthy, and I really should because the shit that's going on with my father and so on and so forth. Like I don't eat healthy. I still have a high metabolism, so I'll eat shitty food, and I don't put on weight. I got a little bit of a beer gut, but I've been cutting back on drinking beer a lot, but whatever. I've lost a lot of beer gut weight, but I'm not eating healthy, and it sucks. I still wake up tired in the morning because I'm not eating, the right nutrients or whatever, the right diet type attitude. People like your girl, like more people should be doing that. More people should be eating a balanced diet and I wouldn't say a regimen or a full blown fucking you have to portion your meals
she's just
type
aware
attitude.
of what she does.
Right.
She knows when she does wrong, and then she'll try to make up for it, or she'll just go for a week or two, and then she'll be like, all right, I got to stop and I got to change back. It's not a perfect science, but when we first met,
there's no such thing as a perfect science for that. Yeah.
There was she wasn't into that, and she had a little extra weight that she knew about, and she's like, I'm going to take control of it, and she did. And I have a lot of respect for that, and
100%.
She's helped me want to do that, and I've changed, but there's no way I can do what she's done. Absolutely not.
I got to jump back in.
She wakes up and she goes out there and works out and does her thing.
When's the last time that you? I'm gonna wait for. I'm gonna wait for Ron to sit down before he bangs in the microphone before I turn this microphone back on. Honestly, when's the last time you went to the gym and worked out?
I got to jump in on this.
Hold on.
No. Let me jump in on this.
We'll get back to that question.
No, I'm jumping in on that. I got to give him props, dude. For a minute, this cat was waking up early before going to work and shit, and working out in the gym like every day. Like we were both getting excessively overweight or whatever, and not comfortable with ourselves. And he decided to actually do something about it and went to the gym. Then I think he hurt his knee or something, and I don't think
when I got in a bike accident,
I don't think he's been back since.
I stopped for a little bit, and then I got lazy. That was the biggest thing.
But much longer than I thought he was going to last when he said he was doing
I'm
this.
not done though either, so it's not like I'm not going to go.
When's the last time you
actually? I left this morning to go, but I was 20 minutes late. So I had to go to work at 8 o'clock this morning.
So you didn't go?
Yeah, there's another fucking excuse. Absolutely.
I'm giving you mad props for what you did do when you did it.
I was supposed to go tomorrow morning, and then they canceled it because of the supposed storm. But I don't see anything out there. Like, is it doing what it said it was going to do?
It's not doing anything.
I'm still looking out for the snow too. Yeah. They said the snow's supposed to hit at around 10 o'clock at night, and it is way past fucking 10. It's 11:45.
The radar showed 7:30. We were cloaked in freaking snow. And
well, you obviously know that I have to be fucking.
If it was coming down, he'd have to.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Let's cut loose because I got to go past the driveway.
It's not that. It's
with my girlfriend.
Hold on. I have to stare out the window and predict that if it's going to keep coming down like this for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, so on and so forth. I anticipate that I have to go to work at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning to. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. I have to anticipate going to work at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is because I have X amount of driveways to get done before X amount of time to get it done by X amount, whatever. If it's going to snow this much or it's not going to snow at all, I'm on call 24 hours a day. So it is what it is. This is my, I guess, cheat day. It's podcast day. Call my boss and be like, I'm going to be a little late. It is what it is. I wish
I could do that on Wednesdays.
I did my entire route, which is 48 driveways in 2.5 hours, which is pretty fucking quick.
So turn me down.
I'll turn you down. Turn you up, motherfucker. First day of the season was today for plowing. I know we're kind of regurgitating the same fucking information, but 48 driveways in 2.5, 3, 4 hours, whatever the fuck it was.
That's pretty good. I think
that's banging it out.
My route was 30 something. It took me about the same amount of time. It all stretched out a little bit.
Yeah, it all depends on the proximity of your your properties itself.
10 in a row, or you got to go streets over main streets. Main streets take longer because of these asshole drivers like Dave that won't let you fucking get out in.
I looked at my list this morning. I went to the shop and my boss is like, dude, it's fucking 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I was like, dude, it doesn't matter. Like, there's 3 inches of snow on the fucking ground.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Well, I called him at 7 and he's like, call me back in an hour. So I called him back at 8. And he's like, "Oh, call me back in an hour. It's not snowing." I was like, "All right." So 8:30 rolled around. I called him. He didn't answer. I was like, "Fuck it." I took a shower, fucking got dressed, left the house. It was 8:45 or whatever the fuck it was. Got to his house at 9:15. Knocked on his door. I was like, "Yo, it's above 3 inches. Even if it's not 3 inches, it's the first snowfall of the year. All these contracts that we have, they're gonna expect us to be like, oh."
You got a bad point. You got to start off on the right foot, right?
Exactly. Don't expect that we're going to show up if there's 2 inches of snow just because we showed up when there's 2 inches of snow this time, but it just shows that we are actually
here to plow you.
We're executing or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
And since the past couple of years we've had, you should be happy with the people that are buying contracts. In the past couple of years,
I'd say
people have learned to pay per plow. You know what I mean?
75% of our contracts are repeat customers. Paying per plow.
I'm just saying the past couple of years, dude, last year there was only like 4 times that we had to plow. I mean,
it doesn't work like that.
I know. I'm saying the past like year or two there was shit for snow compared to normal Rochester weather. It's much better for people to buy the contract. I mean, than pay for per plow. I know,
100%.
I'm just saying the past couple of years though, like
a contract cover,
the people that paid contracts actually lost out. Like that's not normal. That hardly ever happens. But the past year or two, that's how it happened. So be happy the people that still did buy the contract, and you got to do right by them, man. You know,
stop. Contract is unlimited plowing. That means if there is anything over 3 inches of accumulation, we have to be there within a respectable amount of time. So if it's fucking 4 o'clock in the afternoon and we just got shit on and it just started snowing, within 3 or 4 hours after that fucking 3-inch mark, we will be there within 3 hours.
Right.
That it is what it is. We can't just be like, oh well, we won't be there until until 5 in the morning type attitude.
Change my schedule either to accommodate you. Like you're the 17th person in my route, like that. Yeah, that's just how it is.
We have to be there within a reasonable amount of time, so on and so forth. But that per visit shit, our minimum is $30 or $35 per visit, depending on how much snow is actually accumulated. So you're going to call me and say, hey, can you come and plow my driveway? Like, yeah, I'll get to it. I have 3 drivers. We have 3 trucks, and we have a backup truck, depending on, if shit gets out of control, so on and so forth. If I'm past your house on my route, or my other drivers are nowhere near you, we're not going to drop everything and just come to your house and, plow you up because you call us.
Absolutely, yep.
It's quick cash in hand type attitude, but
you also don't want to, like, fuck you, buddy.
Right. We can't turn down or neglect our prepaid / contract fucking residents type attitude.
Right.
We have to take care of them first. If you call us and say, hey, come plow my driveway and I'll pay you whatever cash right now, it is what it is. I'll get to you when I get to you. Don't get fucking mad at me, and don't get fucking, butthurt when I don't show up for fucking, 2-3 hours. I'm not going to drop everything that I'm doing to come and fucking satisfy your fucking needs because you're too cheap to fucking get a contract.
Right.
A contract's $250 ballpark. Base figure for a contract is unlimited plowing is $250. That is unlimited plowing, anything over 3 inches. That is from the first snowfall, which is usually the beginning of December, until the, I think, end of March or mid-March or whatever the fucking season is for winter until early spring. Snow could still happen at the end of March.
Oh,
doesn't matter. We still cover it. If you have a contract,
April.
If you have a contract, in the contract it covers any damage that the plow did to your grass, and so on and so forth, not to your property.
Right.
That's why we have insurance, so on and so forth.
Yep.
So say you're $250 for unlimited fucking plowing. I show up 10 times. That's okay. If I show up individually 10 times at $25 a piece or whatever,
it's the same price.
It's the same price. But what happens if I have to show up 30 times or 40 times?
Right. No,
what happens if we get a big storm that, like last year or 2 years ago, I don't remember when it was, we had 72 hours of fucking straight snow. I think we got 60 inches or whatever. I don't know the number, but for instance,
that was the year I plowed, dude. Yeah.
Well, it was like last year. I'm pretty sure it was last year.
2 years haven't been big for
right. No, the past 2 years
we had
nothing.
We had a
guys' big contracts go down.
That's what I was saying.
Our residential contracts.
Right.
That's we lose out. We lose out.
High because you guys had a lot of plows. Then all of a sudden you have a bad winter, and then now you got to knock them down again.
But that's what works out well this year for plow companies. Because they're not buying the contracts, thinking it's going to be shitty again. We're going to get hammered this year, and if all these people that
they want to pay,
we're not paying for the contract because last year, you only plowed me 3 times and I paid you $250. This is bullshit. I'm going to pay per plow this year. And those are the same, like you said, the same guys that are calling you going, my driveway's not plowed yet. Well, we don't have a contract with you. We're taking care of our people that signed up with us.
You're at the bottom of the list. Yep. And it's a $30, $35 minimum for like your driveway, 2-car wide, 2-car deep. That's minimum for me to show up to your house and drop the plow is $30 or $35.
That's crazy.
It is
not to be a dick, but
no, it's not. I wouldn't charge that.
Like 5 years ago, 2025 would have been my driveway.
Inflation,
I know.
Gas prices, and
what did you say your season rate was? Like $250.
Minimum $250. Yeah.
So
what would my driveway be? What would my driveway be for?
If I worked in this area, if I operated in this area, it would be $250 minimum. My
driveway would be $250. Not knowing me, just as a general customer.
$250 minimum.
Stop saying minimum. What would my driveway be? $250?
$250.
Okay, or you're saying if it was per plow, it'd be $30 or $35?
Per plow, per visit, per push.
30
would be, depending, the average would be $25-$30 per visit.
Of a living out here because my driveway, which was just a little bigger than his on the last place that I lived, they wanted $350 for unlimited.
Well, you got
444.
You got a bigger driveway though.
No. That's the last place I was at. It was bigger. It was still 1 car wider, but I mean, that's one extra swipe.
Actually,
swipes.
It's the same size as mine
more.
with another car, like another 8 foot or whatever on the side.
Your driveway would be minimum $250. I wouldn't. I don't think anybody would charge you more than $250.
So how often do you get flagged down by somebody while you're out doing your route?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every time I'm out plowing.
How often do you tell your boss about those $20-$25 quick fucking things you did? Oh shit! Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't ever pick them up because I'm backed up. I got to go get my route done first.
I tell them 75-80% of the time.
Yeah, why not, dude? Whatever. If it takes fucking 3 minutes, whatever.
No,
he knows absolutely.
And every time that I do pick up drivers like that,
and if you're taking the truck, you're doing your own. You're doing your parents.
I just put any money that I do get, I buy myself lunch. Or put gas into the truck and show back up to the shop and be like, "Yo, don't worry, I put the gas into the fucking truck." So you can't fucking complain or bitch about it.
Doing yours for using the studio.
Yeah, well, yeah. My wife was asking.
Just saying.
My wife was asking him 2 nights ago about prices or something. Yeah, I bought that fucking snowblower last year. I had Joe fucking get it running all good for me.
Well, I made a Facebook post.
I did a really good job. Hold on, I did a really good job fucking snowblowing the driveway last year. All of a sudden, he makes the Facebook post about prices and
Well, she also asked about it a couple fucking weeks ago.
I don't know why. First of all, we don't have the money for it. Second of all, I don't mind going out there with the snowblower for 45 minutes and doing it. I kind of enjoy it actually. That's why I was like, what the hell?
I didn't even know that you had a snowblower. That's the information that I'm just getting.
Trust me, even with the snowblower last year, one time we got fucking hammered, and I didn't have time to go do it. There was a guy plowing right next door. I held up a $20 bill and said, "Will you fucking do me real quick?"
I jumped all over it.
He goes, I don't have time right now. I said, "How about 25?" He's like, "All right, hang on a second." I'm like, fine, whatever.
Last year?
Yeah, last year. There was one time we got hit.
He turned out his $20 bill.
Right, last year, exactly. But one time we got we got hammered.
I would never turn that down.
My brother got a tractor with a plow on it from
a Geo tracker?
No, a tractor, like a
tractor,
not a big one, with a plow on it.
Like a Cub Cadet or John Deere or whatever.
Right. It was for his buddy. He picked it up for him and was storing it at our house for a little bit. And he's like, "Go ahead and use it." So he used it all year last year. Then the guy said, "Well, I'm buying something different. I don't need it." Gave it to him. So now I've got.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got a plow guy. I don't got to worry about it. He does as long as he gets out there early enough. If it's too deep, he obviously can't do it. because it's just a little garden tractor. But
once we sell camp, dude, and I'm gonna bring the ATV back here, I'm gonna buy a plow for that fucking thing.
absolutely.
I'll do all my neighbors just for fun, man. Like all my the people right next door, like the one guy has like one arm, and then the other people are fucking really old, and the young kid that lived with them, this is my buddy's kid who's a little punk and wouldn't do shit. I feel bad for them. Actually, my retired neighbor across the street comes over and shovels for him usually and shit because he's just home all day, ain't got nothing else to do, and being nice to his neighbor. If I have the ATV with the 3-foot plow on it, though,
you just send Colton's ass out there and have him start shoveling
that. Yeah,
Dude, I was
build some
fucking
muscles.
dude. I was shoveling the driveway and snowblowing my driveway at fucking 8, 9 years old.
you got to eat something to put meat on to build the muscles. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
I grew up with a. It wasn't a traditional snowblower with the wheels. We had the tank basically.
I had no idea what a snowblower was until like a couple of years ago.
I grew up with one my entire life back in the 80s since I was old enough to remember. Craftsman made it. It was instead of the wheels that propelled it, it had tracks like a tank. So it had handle on the left, handle on the right. So this is left, this is right, and this bottom lever turned the auger on. So that's what you fucking learned how to do. I was snowblowing my driveway at like 8, 9 years old. Go out there and fucking shovel it, or go out there and shovel it. Go out there and fucking use the snowblower. Do what you gotta
snow
do.
days we shoveled. That was what we did. It was.
I literally used to go around the neighborhood and offer.
Then my dad knew a guy that had, worked on motors, had something cheap, gave it to him, bought one from the neighbor. Then we started using that.
Yeah, I mow the lawn. I mow the lawn the entire year, so I got away with. I don't have to go out there.
No, when I was ready to mow the lawn, I wanted to mow it like a mother. I was like, yo, I want to mow the lawn. I want to mow it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, sold the push or riding mower and bought me a push mower. Go ahead. Mow lawn.
What a dick move.
Fucking horrible. Hated it. Still to this day, hate mowing lawn just because of that.
Nah, you liar.
Thanks,
you
Dad.
love riding around on that.
My parents bought a riding lawnmower for the backyard, and I tried to mow the front yard with the riding lawnmower. They're like, no, the riding lawnmower is only for the backyard. I'm like,
I was like, what a riding lawnmower was.
Why?
I never knew what a snowblower was. I literally, seriously, until I was like 30. Honestly, didn't see. I'm serious. Never saw a snowblower or a plow. Even I had to
you
shovel.
saw them?
Nope.
You just
I
never
don't
got to
remember
use them.
I had to shovel my parents' driveway.
You
and
never saw a snowblower or a lawnmower until you were 30 years old.
No, not a lawnmower. Like a riding lawnmower. Nope.
You never saw one, or you never got to use one.
Nope. Never even saw one. All our cook cutter houses were like a little bit bigger backyard, small front yard.
Nobody you were 30.
Nobody used. Yeah, well, then I was living in apartments in the city, and nobody had rider.
You never like drove down the road. You never drove down the road and saw somebody else.
Okay, I mean, I might have seen one at the fucking store or something, right? But they were never used. Like I never would even considered using a riding mower ever, unless I lived on like a farm or something. In my head,
he looks at a 50 square foot yard. And he's like, man, it's a big backyard.
Yep. 50 square foot. Jesus.
My backyard now is huge. Like, there's no way I would push mow this. A lot of people would. A lot of people like it's not that big.
Your backyard, you would. I would never push mow that.
A lot of people would.
Really?
Dude. No big deal.
It'd take like 6 days.
It would take like an hour. Probably.
By the time you're done mowing it, you have to mow it again.
12 years old.
Right. Your backyard.
Yeah, that was our yard. I mean, that's
why I grew up. Started at that.
House there? Yeah,
I started with the push
mower.
mower.
A little bit bigger, but that's huge.
Absolutely.
I got sick and tired of push mowing that fucking big ass backyard. I was like,
my mom's backyard is
too.
decent size.
Now we're buying a rider.
I thought I was going to be able to drive the rider. Well, no, he sold it because we had a smaller yard. So
my mom's backyard is decent size. They had to push mow the front, push mow the back, and pick up all the fucking dog shit. All right, I do all that. My kids, oh hell no!
I got at least the dog shit. I got the shovel.
Oh yeah, the kennel. Yeah, in the kennel. So yeah,
it still sucked. Those are my fucking
hunting dogs. That's why.
That wasn't my dog.
Oh, they stayed in the kennel and then
you know what I got?
Caught pheasants for you.
$3 to shovel dog shit.
You got paid? Shit!
Shovel dog shit?
God damn it!
I'd pay you not to make me fucking shovel dog shit. I hate it. I throw up so fucking easily on stupid shit like that.
I gave my kids like the easiest thing, bro. They got this. So you know if you're sweeping up somewhere, there's the whatever the hell you use. Normally the
pooper scooper,
the dustpan. Okay, but there's the one on the pole that just sits on the ground. I have one
like
of those.
a foldable dustpan, like you use in a restaurant or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, not as
Long-handled
not
dustpan, okay.
And you look
Not
at
as-
you
not
looked
as
it up.
good as that,
If you
though.
looked it up, it
Yes.
folds on itself. And
not
you push it
as
down.
good as that, but yeah, same idea. Okay, and little miniature rake thing. I said, dude, all you gotta do is go find the pile, put this thing down, and rake it into it,
Yeah.
and put it in the trash can. My kids, hell no, that ain't happening.
Well, if you don't do that, we're gonna get rid of the dog. And
I can't do that because it's my dog.
oh, dude, it's idle threats, but at the same time, it's hey, if you don't want to go out there and do it, I'll change the Wi-Fi password, or I'll take away your iPad or your laptop or your phone or whatever. Dude, we didn't have. Obviously, we can't compare it.
Can we raise our beers real quick for a friend of mine's dad that passed today?
Salute, Solancha.
Here's to Arthur. Good man. I can tell stories about him.
Sorry to hear about that, by the way. That's bad news.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's good. My brother just texted me and said I have to
Put it
call
down.
him. So.
Didn't mean to put a downer on it, but hell of a man. The guy lived a fucking life. He lived in Alaska, retired on the Alaskan pipeline, worked on that. Then he was a professional baseball player. He had his own baseball card. And then he was union electrician here in Rochester and retired at that too. Ridiculous, man. And he passed at 72 or something. 2 retirements and a professional baseball player. That's a fucking life. Spent a shit ton of time in Alaska.
70
living in
what?
Alaska, 72.
That's way too young now. 72 is way too fucking
Yeah, the poor guy.
But I can't.
Couple years
I can't
already
even think of
without
myself
it, though,
at
you know.
72 and think I've got more time to go.
Shit, 72.
Our boss is 72 years old now.
72, right?
His mom's 101, 102.
But you wouldn't think Mike's more than like 55.
His dad
man,
lived in
seriously.
97. He's 72 years old. Comes into work. You wouldn't know he was that old.
You wouldn't even think he's 60. I swear.
There's a lot
at
of
his family history. He still has our age to go. He still could go another 30 years.
His mom broke her hip at 101 years old.
your boss.
Yep. Broke her hip, dude.
But, yeah.
No, she was at least 100 when she broke her hip. Oh, let's say 100. She was 100 years old when she broke her hip. Fell and broke her hip. That is a death sentence for old people, right?
100%.
Fully recovered. Not even using a walker anymore. Back to running around.
What doctor or insurance company would be like, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and operate. I mean, the doctor's not going to turn it down.
They didn't. They put her in a bed and she healed. They put her in a bed. They were thinking, they were thinking this might be it. That
I don't want to put his shit out there like that. They've had a few things that have negative, and they just kind of we're letting it take. She's just
every time she's
like,
there. Yep, right.
She walked into town the other day.
She was 101 years old.
She is
101 years old.
Yeah.
She broke her hip.
Still walks into
She
town
broke her hip
at 100. She broke her hip. I'm telling you,
healed?
It was after her 100th birthday. Yeah,
I don't think she healed.
No, she just walked from the apartments up the road down to the shop.
No reconstructive surgery. No procedures whatsoever.
No, because they were
she didn't break her hip.
Like he said,
she didn't break her hip.
Yes,
No, she didn't.
Like he said, not to put his shit out there, but
I'm not saying that. I'm questioning.
They were saying we're not going to go all crazy. She's 100 fucking years old.
Right.
Let's just make her comfortable. Whatever.
My great grandmother,
like I said,
hold on.
Broken hip is death sentence for old people, man.
This woman is an inspirational woman.
My great grandmother on my mother's side, my mother's grandmother, Grandma Virginia, lived to be 102 or 103 or whatever the fuck it was, and she was still driving until like 90 something years old, still driving around in a car, like absolutely asinine that she was doing that.
Absolutely.
But after 90 years old, it just became to the point that she was on oxygen and walking with a walker. And she wasn't going anywhere, but she was still kicking. But she had Alzheimer's and dementia, so on and so forth. But there was no if I fell down and broke my hip, I'm gonna get up and walk around.
Exactly, dude.
In a couple days.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't happen.
What they thought.
They literally said like we'll just keep her comfortable and let shit take its course.
100% broken hip.
And yes, I swear to you, dude.
No procedure.
I will tell you the story. A woman, she went to hold the door for a woman. She went to hold the door for a woman at this fucking place she lives, all right? And this woman's a little not all there, okay? Bigger lady. She went to hold the door for this woman so she could get through. The woman's like, I don't need you to hold the door for me, and like yanked the door, and she fell down, broke her fucking hip, okay?
That's pretty fucking rude.
Yeah. And she's what, 80 pounds too? I mean, she's old Italian lady, okay?
Little frail at that age.
So yes, what are we gonna do? Surgery, this, that? No, hell no. She's 100, bro. She laid in bed and she healed up and went back to her walker, and now she can do walker or not walker.
Well, Stop.
She walks around.
I wouldn't. You're using the term. She healed up. She might have not healed up, but she might not have.
She's back to up and walking around, dude. At 102 or 101.
You're not a doctor. I don't know the circumstances, nor do none of us do. But I'm saying she wasn't healed. Your hip does not fucking rejuvenate itself or heal itself.
Sure it does.
Not at that age. No way.
That's what we're saying. You're right.
I'm saying she might not have felt the pain or the side effects of having a broken hip.
2 years ago.
You're using past tense,
and they're still letting her move around.
She's right back to like walking around.
I'm saying she just might not have that. The central nervous system might not. The central nervous system might not have any.
She don't want to go. She's like, fuck you.
Yeah, fucking good for her.
Yep.
No, I'm not. I'm not taking anything away from her. Nor am I saying like no.
Again, we're saying the exact same thing. It's not. Something's not right, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's,
especially
like I said,
especially
a broken hip after 70 is.
If you break your hip at 25, you don't just fucking lay in bed for a month.
Oh no, like
and
you're talking,
just get up and walk away and say, yeah.
You're talking 3 to 6 months just to heal, and you
could
just walk okay.
Yeah, that's what doctors fucking recommendations.
Yeah, you're not
and
going
so
to
on
go
and so
back
forth.
and play softball or something after that.
You're
the
done.
We work at. Her husband was the one that started it.
Mm-hmm.
And at 99 years old, she still walked in there at least once every 2 or 3 weeks when we were there.
Yep.
Would still walk in there at 99 years old.
And
good for her.
Hi, Brian.
All that happened.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Ron.
She was still living on her own. And then when that happened, that's when she went to the hospital. And so since then, she's been in there. But they still bring her out and let her do whatever she wants to do. I mean, she still walks down. She walked down for the thing that they do in town. In the town that we have our shop at.
I know at the very least at 99, she was still having sneaking a cigarette here and there, dude. A glass of wine and a cigarette here and there.
Come up and ask us for it later.
Yep. Absolutely, dude. I've been there just over 4 years, and I can tell you like 5 times within the first year or so when she would come down to the shop, walk down to the shop with her walker and shit, but she does like 100 miles an hour with that shit, and would ask me if I had a light, dude, and she would smoke a fucking cigarette. Probably the only one she smoked that week, even maybe, but still at like 100.
Is there any way in fucking hell that we can get her onto the show?
Yeah,
I'll give her a cigarette.
No, I could probably get.
I'll give her a cigarette, 2 lighters, and fucking whatever she wants. I'd really love
to party too, man. I bet you we can get Mike on at some point.
We got to wrap this up because it is 12 o'clock, and I might have to go fucking plowing shortly.
It's not even snowing.
All right. Well, I have to go pee, so
we're doing all right. That's all right. Me and Brian can sit here for a few.
You guys keep going for a little while. I got to pee, and I got to call my brother back because it kind of sounded urgent.
Wait, what? Did you say it sounded urgent?
Yeah.
What sounded urgent?
My brother called me twice and then sent me a message. You have to call me right now.
Oh, all right then.
So that might not be good.
All right, then I guess we'll cut out.
But you good? You guys?
Well, he went to go pee. So all right, I got this.
Yeah, you're good.
Give us 3 seconds. Let me let Hippie out of here. That's right. You're still getting called hippie by me, even though you try to look like a white supremacist.
Is there a lighter in the garage?
No, but there is a lighter in the garage. I thought it was in my pocket, but it's not. Check my jacket. But actually, it's got to be in the garage because I puffed real quick when I went to pee.
All right, ladies and germs. That's an old school term. I wish somebody that is watching for me would call in and give us something else to talk about here. Yeah, that's right. We're all out. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I'm left all to my lonesome. If somebody, Joe, you did love me, I think, at some point. Although, funny story that every one of my friends knows. The one time that he beat the crap out of his son at my house. It was funny. He told me he was going to get me on statutory because I was like 17 and my buddy was like 14. Anyway, he was an awesome guy. No, it's not even that. He was an awesome fucking dude, and he had a hell of a fucking life, man. He's a man's man. Always was a man's man, for sure. Shout out to Arthur. Passed away. So, I think we get Mike on the show. I think we could talk him into it. It's Tuesday night, dude. It's his night out too. Say, hey man, after euchre or cards or whatever he does, we can get him on here.
So you heard what I did to him yesterday with Frankie about.
I did.
So didn't I get a phone call today from Frank? Brian
on the shop phone.
Yeah. Brian, you doing a New Year's Eve party at your house?
Wait, New Year's
or Mike Christmas Eve?
Oh.
I was like, no, Frank.
So Mike said, oh,
it's
man, Brian.
Like, come. I was like, no, I'm not. I know exactly who it was, motherfucker.
I thought Mike
absolutely paid me back.
I thought he
Frank calls him every day.
I know. I thought he was lying about that, dude. I thought he was lying when he said, "No, I'm going to send him your way."
He did too.
That's great.
I got the phone call.
Awesome.
I was on the phone with Barbara at the same time. And I was telling him as she's listening, and she's like, "What the hell is that about?" Like, I don't know. Frank thinks he's coming over to our house. I was like, Frank, nope, we're all the way in Victor. I was like, if Mike wants to bring you, all right,
dude.
So Mike Marco, thanks.
Let's get a it's not going to be that much. A little fund going. Get Frank here for New Year's, man. If we can get an Uber fund, I will have him here, and then we'll send him back home in the Uber. If I can get other people to help me pay for it, man, I think it would be worthwhile. And he would like it. He'd have fun.
I hope they invite him for this weekend.
Oh, Mike said he is. So we have our Christmas party this weekend, and the mayor of Clifton Springs, Frankie Lepresti, he's older, little slow guy, awesome as hell. He goes and gets change for us, and
comes and hangs out,
sings songs to us, and he's a really good guy. Yeah, he's a really good guy. We bust his balls. It's funny, and he's a good guy. Anyway, he's hopefully going to come to our Christmas party for work this weekend.
I think everybody's well asked now.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can't sign off without. I tried to get everybody to call in. If I could have got somebody to call in, it would have. I don't want to peace out without Steve, man. It's his shit, you know. All right, so I guess you guys just hang on, listen to me and Brian bullshit a little bit until Steve comes back and we can sign off properly. I don't want to
talk about something a little different, sports.
Yes, normally we try to talk about sports, or I try to, and I get shut down because I'm a diehard Steelers fan. Can't even name fucking 3 players on the fucking team, but yeah.
But somehow they managed to win,
and they do, and they don't cover, but they should. And sometimes.
Since Joe Glazer is watching, fuck your Raiders,
and that's one that I said Kansas City.
I know, absolutely, I agree.
There's one that I
Kansas City ain't done shit.
No, they haven't.
I thought the Raiders would get one. Well,
that's the Raiders for you.
Fuck the Raiders.
They're in the playoffs, though, I think, already, right?
Hopefully they don't do anything this week. Oh, no, not yet.
No?
No, they needed to win that game.
Oh, man, there was just
they were
something.
Fighting with Kansas City.
It was Detroit. I just got a whole rundown of how Detroit kind of made it in.
I just saw something that Aaron Rodgers is back. He's clear to play. He's clear to play. Look it up. I'm telling you, it's clear to play this week.
He doesn't. Oh my God! I think he might have to. They can still make the playoffs, can't they?
Yes, they can.
What's his name? Handley, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, he's won two or three
in a row.
And they should have beat fucking Pittsburgh.
He is,
but somehow Pittsburgh keeps pulling out wins out of it.
Game managing Henley or Huntley, like Osweiler did for
absolutely. Like every backup's done for their team
that wins games.
The Cowboys backups.
Wow,
absolutely. Or Geno Smith.
You just need the starter. Just can't win games. I'm not putting that all on Eli. You know I'm a fucking not an Eli lover, man, but you absolutely cannot put this season on.
I don't put it on
him
either.
I'm not at all. You know, like I'm not saying that he's not been bad, but right.
Part of it.
No more of a part of it than the defense that was awesome last year that hasn't done dick this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. On paper, looks great, and can't do it.
Offense looked phenomenal too. Yeah. I personally thought we had the number one receiver core. Seriously,
I know
Shepard could be a number one on any other team, or a killer slot guy on any other team. Instead, he's got Beckham. He's in Beckham's shadow, and then we bring in fucking Marshall, who yes, he's getting old.
All year?
Absolutely, dude. Even before he got hurt, yeah, like 1 or 2 catches a game. You know, I mean. Everybody's covering Beckham. Why are you not wide the fuck open for touchdowns even, you know? Big fades in the end zone. What the fuck, man? And then Evan Ingram, you know? Phenomenal fucking tight end, pass-catching tight end, who has turned out to be, obviously, our number. He's pulling a freaking, what's his name there? He was New Orleans, now he's Seattle tight end. Jimmy Graham. He's pulling a Jimmy Graham because we have no receivers. Evan Ingram's our number one receiver this year. So, yeah, 4 phenomenal receivers, and if you only got 6 seconds to find one of them, you're not going to get anywhere.
Even 6 seconds. Okay, that would be a lot.
3 seconds. You're not going to get anywhere.
I'm happy about that.
No, of course you are.
Honestly, I'd be more happy if the Eagles weren't doing shit because.
Oh, you liar! You're more happy the Giants are.
It's
totally shit in the fucking bed, man. I felt bad. I literally never bet on my team before. Before the season started, I put $20 down on the Giants to win the Super Bowl. And yeah, that was just here, buddy, have $20.
It sucked because I couldn't even I turned around and I said, "Yeah, how about that?" That's the only thing I could really give you because it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't. In fact, thanks for being us. So we get
the very first game of the season, I did double up with one of our customers or one of my customers that come in was a Giants fan, and he bet me double the haircut. So I did get paid double. He paid up for me. That was awesome.
I get. We're gonna get second round or second pick, I think.
Should as long
Cleveland still ain't gonna win.
As long as you don't win 2 more games.
Cleveland still hasn't won, right?
I really like you guys.
They were about to win last week, and they still did. Yeah,
they should have won last week.
Yep. No, hell no. They're getting that first round pick. And the thing is, they're not.
They'll blow it.
So who is there? I don't know anything about college. Is there an actual standout QB right now?
Yeah, one just won the Heisman Trophy. Baker Mayfield.
Because Cleveland, I think Kaiser's good, dude. I don't think they need to go for.
I don't know if they.
I don't think they need to go for a quarterback though, dude. He's not. He's good. He's good enough to build a team around or whatever. He's not. He's top 10 in 7 years.
Offensively, they played a lot better when Gordon came back.
He's not
a playmaker.
Yeah.
So he's done decent since he's come back.
Right. Then you need 1 or 2 more.
He's not high anymore, so he doesn't know what he's doing.
They also have Njoku or whatever. They have a good tight end. So I mean, they should be winning some of these games, man. I mean, they have worse than the Giants this year. Cleveland just has the worst luck or whatever.
Yeah.
Than the Giants even have this year for the past 5 years. Cleveland has the worst luck.
So out of the past 5-6 years, they've had 3 number 1 picks, 2 number 1 picks, and
7 different quarterbacks, 8 different coaches. Yeah,
and can't do anything.
Nope. Can't even have more than 2 or 3 wins. I did see
a funny meme that said the reason why Cleveland passed on Deshaun Watson and Carson Wentz is they realized that both of them have weak ACLs.
Did they both come out of the same? No, they both didn't come out of the same draft as Kaiser. Watson did not Wentz. Wentz was there last year.
Those 2 years ago when Cleveland still had the first round pick.
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland's had the first round pick for
who did they draft
6 out of 12 years.
So. I forget. But they got Kaiser this year, and I think who else? Who was Watson? I guess they could have. Watson's scary, man. It's like RG3.
I like Watson.
I do too, but
that was great.
Again, it's like RG3. Awesome. It's a lot of run and gun, but he's obviously, dude, I watched that dude. I don't watch college football, but when I watch that dude play and on his own between passing and running 42 points, you know what I mean? 6-7 touchdowns
he played great.
In a game, every game he was in. I was like, dude, Jerry pointed it out to me like halfway through the season or something. I was in his basement for some reason at their house, and I watched. He's like, dude, you got to see this guy or whatever. I honestly made it a point to watch him play if I could, once or twice more after that, and literally every time they were between 40 and 60 points, they would score. They would on offense, and it was all him.
He came out on fire,
but that makes me nervous because it's RG3 or any of these run and gun quarterbacks. That's not the way the NFL is. It's pocket passing and being tough in the pocket and shit. Once you start running and stuff, that's when you get hurt. It's when you tear your ACL and you break bones and stuff. Okay, well, you ready to sign off? Because I've been waiting for you. Just tell them to hang on 1 second and come back and say goodbye. That's it.
All right, well, let's talk in the morning. We're going to wrap up the podcast.
Thanks for that. That's right. It was
totally
empty. Yep. All right, so we're going to wrap this shit up. Thanks for sticking around with just me and Brian talking football.
Thank you.
Wish somebody would pipe in that knew anything about football, but
Go Cowboys.
You guys are out. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Go Yankees.
I mean, I'm okay with that. Whatever. I'm not a baseball fan, but
it was awesome.
I actually like the fact that I mean, it's kind of a dick move, but that there's no limitations on spending money and stuff. Like
they didn't spend the money.
I'm just saying, dude, that they can though.
They traded for a guy.
Moneyball's one of my favorite movies, and
they traded for a guy who already had a contract and won the MVP.
I didn't know. I wasn't baseball smart enough to know that Oakland could only spend like $5 million, and the Yankees had like $100 million to spend on players.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm being excessive about it, but I didn't know that.
They spend what they bring in. That's the gist.
I totally get it, but I didn't know that part of it.
Because of the Yankees, Boston, the Dodgers, they impose a luxury tax. So anybody who's above this cap has to pay this extra money for nothing whatsoever.
Yeah, they make it all up in merch, dude. It doesn't matter.
That's why the Yankees they try to get below it, and then they did this.
Dude, they could take a year where they lose money overall by paying all these guys, but guess what? They go to the series and win it that year, and the next year,
this past year
everybody's back on the Yankees.
Past year,
man.
Nobody thought they were going to make it anymore. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year, and it was supposed to be a lead up.
You're like the epitome of a bandwagon guy, man. I'm not saying you are, but America's team and the Yankees, man. Like that's what everybody's supposed to like. I know Adam Smith and.
All right, let me let him in.
What the hell is first baseman? Don Mattingly.
Don Mattingly.
The
first baseman.
I'm Smith and Mattingly were pretty sure same period.
My favorite player was Ricky Henderson.
No, he was
Oakland
A, man.
Yep, absolutely. Him and the Bash Brothers,
man.
And
Canseco,
McGuire, all day. I loved it.
All right.
And I was also a big Bo Jackson fan, so I loved the Raiders.
How can you not be a Bo Jackson fan, dude?
Bo Jackson,
Michael Jordan.
Bo Jackson was the
dude. Michael Jordan, Deion Sanders, Tiger Woods. Bo Jackson played two sports.
Hold on. Bo Jackson was the biggest threat in Super Tecmo Bowl or whatever the fuck it was ever. There was literally a law against using him in competitive tournaments and head-to-head competition. Bo Jackson, you couldn't be the Raiders.
He is still the only guy that's ever made a name in two sports, man.
No, Michael Jordan did it. He didn't make a name.
Like I said,
he didn't make a name.
Like
Deion
I said,
Sanders
made a name, dude.
Deion Sanders did it. I'm
What
almost
Deion?
positive. Deion Sanders
Deion played baseball too. Played for the Rays, Yankees.
Again,
didn't fucking
made a name for it though.
it was legitimate. Was
His name
like
was-
recognized.
his name was football, but
What's
Bo
his-
Jackson was
What's the
baseball.
fucking Tebow? Didn't he go to baseball too?
Yeah, he's now in. He's finally
Jordan
made it.
only
I
did
think
because
to.
he had
But he's in like the
money. He
A
didn't make
league
his
or
name
the
in it.
B league or whatever.
Jordan had his name before it happened. He didn't make his
Oh.
name into sports.
No, he left
Jordan already had
to go play baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Michael Jordan left basketball to go play
I've
baseball.
always wanted to try, but yeah. He was. He probably. Listen, there's a lot of these guys that could go. That could get drafted. Either college too could either go play basketball, baseball, or football. Like
If you got
natural
the,
athletes are
if you-
natural athletes.
if you got
Where
the-
do I go
if-
where I can do the best and make the
yeah,
most money?
if you got the talent to do this sport or that sport, and you're recognized as like, yo, just because you have your name in this sport doesn't mean you're going to make it in this sport.
Right.
You're not going to last. You're not going to try out for the Red Wings and be the starting pitcher or whatever the fuck it is.
Which is
It's,
Tebow,
it's
dude.
not. That's what Tebow did. That's what Deion Sanders did.
Yep.
That's what fucking
Not Bo
Michael
Jackson though, bro.
Bo Jackson was a fucking legit
That's what I'm
motherfucker.
saying.
Yeah.
He was legit in both.
He's the other
Bo
one.
Jackson is the
Well, you're
is the best athlete. of
Right.
all
He
time.
played professional baseball, like
he was the best.
MLB
Well, you
and
got-
NFL.
You can't say that he's the only person that's crossed from one sport to another because that's not true.
Oh.
You got to remember.
Name somebody
I said
else.
that.
Conor McGregor.
No, dude. See,
Deion
No,
Sanders-
you
you're
have-
talking
Sanders-
fighting. It's
Deion
fighting.
Sanders
in
was the
Two
only
different
other
sports, though.
player
You got no. Hold on.
Two professional sports.
They're two different sports. They might be the same
Oh my God.
aspect of a sport, but there's two different sports. Boxing is one thing, and MMA is a different thing. It's similar, but it's not the same.
Okay, fine. I'll agree with you on that. Name
It's
somebody else.
a technicality,
Okay,
but
fine,
regardless.
somebody else.
Crossover.
Hold on. Name somebody else. Exactly. Bo Jackson.
I mean,
dude.
off the top of the head, no, I can't.
It's ridiculous, though. Like you said, Tim Tebow. Okay, he didn't even make it in football very well.
That's why he went
He-
to baseball.
and then he went
He
to
made
baseball.
he made a really good debut.
and then, like I said,
Then he went to like the minor leagues. There.
Jordan, obviously,
But Jordan
best
was in the minor
basketball player
leagues.
ever.
But he was in the minor leagues of baseball too.
And then
But their
Bo
names-
Jackson-
their
Right,
names-
minor leagues. That's what I'm
but
saying.
Listen, those guys' names is what got them there.
Of course.
100%.
Russell Wilson was drafted as a pitcher.
The
he became-
Oh, I believe
quarterback,
it.
the quarterback
Yeah,
for the Seahawks,
Yes.
Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Again, same with
a lot
Tebow.
of
He
these
could have
players
went.
do that, but there's not anybody now that will do both sports.
Absolutely not. And football is where it's at to get paid.
And there's been others I
compared
don't
to
know well.
No, that-
I just know
compared to
I-
the
I-
amount of
long-
work you put in, man.
Long story short, the crossover from one
Unless
sport,
you're a baseball
one
pitcher.
professional sport to another professional sport, not relying on your name but relying on your talent. That is,
Bo Jackson, man. That's it.
I literally cannot. Right off
That's
the top
what
of my
I'm
head,
saying.
I can.
That's crazy.
I can't think of another fucking individual that could pull
Listen,
that off.
Thanks for having me.
No, we're
I'm going to
actually
bathroom.
cutting out.
Yeah.
So thanks
We do have to
everybody.
wrap it up.
Thanks
I just
talking.
got a really bad phone call, so we're gonna talk about that off camera. So
And then I'll make sure to bring it up next week. Don't worry. I'll put him in tears on
Not-
camera.
not
I'm just
not-
playing, man. I'm just playing.
not right now, man.
I'm just playing.
So everybody that is
Wanna
everybody that is watching, fucking have a thought or prayer or whatever the fuck you believe in for my father.
Oh
Not-
man, that's where it's coming down to.
Yeah, not looking too good. I mean,
All right.
fucking. Still, I'm still processing the whole thing, so I'm not going to make it about me. I'm not going to make it about that. But anybody that does know my father knows that he is a strong motherfucker.
Well, here's
We
to my buddy's dad
We just
that passed, and here's to your dad.
salute Solange Prost for
being
Sergio
strong.
for
Sergio and Art.
taking that boat ride from Italy to New York and meeting my mom and taking her pants off and having me. By the way, salute Solange Prost. We are the Goon Squad Pubcast.
If I ever meet you, I'll punch you in the face for having him. I'm just kidding. And that's probably bad timing, but I'm just kidding.
This is episode 43, 42,
43-ish.
whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. Just keep watching. Every Tuesday, we'll be here to entertain the shit out of you, and hopefully your grandmother watches this next week. So I gotta go, and
We out.
We out. So
Deuces.
bye.
Bye.